Okay. I think it's working now. I think it's working now. It's working now. Good, 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 good. Okay. Yeah, we're in, we're in. Pixela says, this is the stream. It's quite the function. Get your hands together for Canon construction. Don't. Don't, it's so cringe. Don't do that. Good stuff. Okay. I'm here. I've got water. I drank it all. I'm gonna go get more. And I'm ready to just talk for 3 hours straight about Sonic lore. Oh yeah. Welcome one, welcome all. Again, it's taken a minute, but there is the chat from my perspective on Streamlabs. It's just taken a fat minute to go to YouTube, but it will catch up. It did last time, after like a minute or so. Hi Shrugpod. Hi Sonic. Hi Mochi Mochi. Hi G.U.N. Hi Creeperman. Hi Ozerman. Hi Pixelus. Hello, hello, hello. Hello Shrug. Hi Canon. Ashamedly I've forgotten your name. It's Connor. C-O-N-N-E-R. Mr. Pod is here! Call me Suki VA says. Shadow Genesis. Hey, hey, what's going on? Hello? Hello? Oh, there we go. It's caught up. Alright. Everyone say something and you'll actually pop up in the chat now. Grand. How's the music? How's the background music? As chill as always? Very nice. What's up, G.U.N? Okay. I love getting internet validation from random people I don't know. Same. Who gets Sonic Rush OST in the background? I have the Sonic Lo-Fi channel pulled up, so I have no idea if it will. But just for you, my friend, I got a song in mind. Hot mama, do I have a song for you in mind. I cannot wait for Sonic Rerush, guys. I'll be playing the hell out of this later. I don't know why it goes black when I click out of it, though. That's weird. The Rush models look so good because they got to add squash and stretch to them. Yeah. Dude, I'm so hyped for Re-Rush. I've never actually played Sonic Rush, so getting to experience it for the first time on a PC is gonna be really fun. Mochi Mochi Sonic Rerun, Sonic Rush Rerun is the PC port to Sonic Rush that the fans are making. And I'm very excited to try it out when it comes out. Yeah, it's the low poly bit of it. Pixels, I totally agree. The trailer looks really good. If you guys haven't seen it, go look at the Sonic Rush Rerun trailer. Anyway. Back to the regular music. What do we have here? Tidal Tempest pulled up? Okay. So, we're going back to the lore. Taking off my headphones so I can think. The reason I'm even here is because of Mellow's Discord. Well, good on you. You owe a lot to him. Apparently, Ozzy and a lot of people owe a lot to you. Like Shrugbud and his little man. For those who don't know, and I mention this all the time just because I love it, Shrugbud here, his profile picture was made by Ozerman. So Ozerman's a great artist. Good stuff. And I'm going to be using the model for a video. So a lot of good stuff have come out of this guy. Anyway, as Matt Patch would say, lore! So that's what we're doing. We're going back into it. I've got it pulled up here. For those who don't know, what we did last time is we went over for the first hour. It was only a 2-hour stream instead of the usual 3. For the first hour, we went over the actual game theory timeline, and it's abysmal, and we pointed out all of its flaws, things that I personally agree with, things that I don't agree with, things that are kind of nebulous, but I did my best to explain. And then for the latter half of that hour, for the next hour, the latter half of the stream, we went into the actual, real, mine timeline. And we got to about 3,000 years ago. I want to go chronologically, so, in time order. And Ozerman and his Friday pizza nights. Bro's got this. Every Friday, Ozerman has a pizza night. So we started at the beginning of time. We started with Solaris, then we moved on to Time Eater, and then we moved on to the end, which, if you want to know a lot more about these, you could go watch the previous stream if you want. I have another video about Sonic Aliens, those 3 count, as well as the next bit, which is the Ancients. And the Ancients were at their home planet, and then it got blown up because of the end, so then they came to Earth. Blah, 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 blah. Stuff with the Master Emerald. A lot of stuff involving the G.U.Ns, because the Ancients turned into the G.U.Ns. So that was the 5th Great Civilization, and the 4th Great Civilization. We are now moving on to the 3rd Great Civilization. So we passed... we also moved on from the Sonic Riders Babylonian lore. We also covered that. I think that was the last thing we covered, and now we're moving on to the Echidna tribes. So that's that. Even with all this lore, there's no definitive origin for the Time Eater. I mean, there's no definitive origin for, like, the End or Solaris or whatever. That's kind of their shtick, honestly, if I had to say anything. They didn't come from anywhere. They've just been around. Hi, Stuart Selects. Hello. Welcome to the stream. We're going to be going over Sonic lore. Do we recognize Sonic 4 episode Metal as canon? I'd say so, yeah. Takes place before Heroes. I haven't played Sonic 4 episode Metal, so I'm just speaking out of what I've picked up over these past 20 years, but, yeah. Okay. Okie dokie. Artichoke. Ladies and gentlemen, behold the PowerPoint. So, 3,000 years from present day. We're going to go ahead and do this. Whenever we get to the next time cut, I'm going to go get some water because I'm going to be thirsty. But for right now, we're good. I personally headcanon the end and the time meter are sort of the same thing. Time meter being a part of the end that broke off when it went to cyberspace because cyberspace has no time. I'm going to say that is incorrect. Headcanon all you want, but that's not the case. But we see the end Solaris have a history with the world of Sonic. Time meter just seemed like it showed and fucked up the timeline. Time meter is just a worse Solaris. There's no other way to describe it. It's just a worse Solaris. Got some warm sugared milk. How far do you think we'll get today? Well, we got 3 hours, so we might finish. Who knows? We're on slide 50 of 178. So, if we're taking our time, we'll take up all 3 of those hours. Ronnie Taylor, I don't think you're in the... Yeah, I don't think you're in the chat, but Ronnie Taylor subscribed. Yay, wow. Are all 10 endings in Shadow the Hedgehog different timelines? I mean, sure, if you want to call them that. I just say they're not canon. Pretty sure it's just the hard mode is the real one. I forget. That's a Google search. Go nuts. Solaris inspired entire religion culture on Soliana. Dude just chilling space till Eggman pulled up and said, haha, I'm gonna mess up people with this. And then he did. Alright, so 3,000 years ago from present day, we have chaos. Let's talk about chaos. This guy is, as Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik says, the water god of destruction. He's not. That's incorrect. That is errant. A lot of people think this because the local religion happens to describe exactly what chaos looks like. But chaos is just a chow. So a while ago, we were talking about chaos. Let me fling back before the Babylonians. We were talking about the chow. And how the chow are just the thousands, tens of thousands of years down the line version of the ancients and the G.U.Ns. In particular, there's the Chaos Chow, which you can see right here. And it looks like one of its ancient ancestors. It has the thing in the back. Moving back now, you can see that Chaos is the same way. He's very watery. He's very whatever. He looks just like the ancient ancestors. That's kind of the mutation that he has. There's nothing in particular special about him. He has just, I would say, as mystical powers as any Chow does. His is just all water-based. Because of his genetic makeup, he is just a giant water Chow. That's pretty much it. And yes, I do like to theorize that, again, there's like no reason for it not to be the case, that chaos was the thing holding together the planet during the time of awakening, which is when, in Sonic Unleashed, the planet breaks up. Every deity's had history with Sonic's world, except the Time Eater. Dude already had a lame boss fight. I just want to do him justice. He has a brain. I don't think the ancients have that. Well, they definitely did have a brain, just not the visible one that the Chows do. Anyway, so he was just chilling there. But moving on to the Knuckles clan. Nothing special. Perfect Chaos would like to argue. Okay, alright. I would like to argue that any Chow would be wild if they sucked in all the 7 Chaos Emeralds. But again, we'll get there. We'll get there. The Knuckles clan. These guys were from 3,000 years ago. Some people think that there's more than one. There definitely are different clans, but things like the Nocturnus clan from Sonic Chronicles is not canon. Unfortunately, Sonic Chronicles is not the case. Some people think Chaos is an ancient. He is not. He is a mutated Chow that looks like one. So, rougher than the rest of them. Yes, Knuckles is based off. He is named after these guys. I'm not taking that back, Shrug. It is a Google search away. Deal with it. A tribe of echidna led by Chief Patrick Kamek. I'm going to call him Chief Pac-Man. It's easier to say. This was the 3rd great civilization. So, their local religion is the water god of destruction Chaos, and they built the Mystic Ruin. Shown here is what it looked like 3,000 years ago, and then all the way over there is what it looks like currently today. It's overrun by jungle. It's in the middle of like South America kind of sort of thing. It was ran by Chief Pac-Man's grandma, but then she died. Womp womp. And it went to Chief Pac-Man. It's a pretty chill place, you know? Patrick Mac was the best part of the Knuckles show. I love Christopher Lloyd. I'm so glad that he got to voice something in my favorite series. Question, why is he shorter? And also, didn't people theorize that some of Chaos's forms were based on other breeds of the Ancients, and those guys built the Titans in their image? Why is he shorter? I mean, Chaos is pretty tall. I don't know how much shorter he is compared to an actual Ancient. He's definitely on the shorter side, but I wouldn't say he's, like, anything crazy short. And then, yes, so that's not theories. That is, according to Ian Flynn, is just that there were different races of the Ancients on the planet the Ancients used to be on, and so they based the Titans in the image of the other 4 or 5 races. Sage says it, actually, at one point in the game. I don't know where the... You know what? Again, go to my Sonic Aliens video. I definitely recorded that bit in the video and talking about it, so go take a look. The Knuckles short was great, just voicing my opinion. Keep your opinion to yourself. I'm kidding, I just don't care for it at all. Not your opinion, but the show. So, Chief Pac-Man, this guy, I am particularly not going to use a Sonic Blitz model because Blitz did not understand what his beard looks like. This guy is a warlord. He is as violent as you'd expect. He's got a big stabby thing. Ooh. Does Sonic even remember the events of 06? Paraarts, hi, first of all, welcome. Secondly, yes? Question mark. It is unclear as to how well Sonic and Silver remember each other. For the, yeah, I'm gonna say no for the most part, but like, whatever. So, he was cool, he was a chieftain doing his thing, he had a daughter, behold, Tikal. We like Tikal, she's super nice. She's not the warmongering type like her father. She is a very peace activist, which, you know, as much as I love peace, Tikal, this is this is tribal expansion. That you won't last too long, and she didn't. But that's besides the point. So she's chilling, and imagine, if you will, folks, walking through your local neighborhood forest. I don't know, go pick the nearest forest to your house, and inside of that forest, you find a little clearing, and Jesus is just chilling there, sitting on a log, hanging out. That's kind of what happened to Tikal here. She was just walking through the jungle, and all of a sudden, she, like, finds this clearing, and her local's religion is just chilling, just hanging out. A guy perfectly matching the description. And she's like... So she goes over and she meets him, and she's really nice about it, you know? She goes over, she cleans up the place, she makes it a point to come over repeatedly and clean up. So, Chaos here trusts her. I mean, again, at the end of the day, Chaos is just a Chow. He's probably really nice. Do people ship Shadow and Tikal because they're old? I'm gonna say no. Pixela says yes, he's seen other things. Anyway, so Chief Patrick Mac, he eventually finds the emeralds. The shrine, the Master Emerald Shrine with all the emeralds around it. And Tikal does a pretty good job saying, hey, please don't, like, take over it all. We don't want you to have absolute power like that. And eventually, Pachacamac gets tired of Tikal's bitching. So he's like, you know what? I don't care. We gonna do this. And thus begins the story. So, he's like, alright boys, let's get moving. We gotta grab that stuff before the other tribes move in. Because it's not just them, right? This is war. So they move in. And Tikal's like, no, don't do it, no. They don't really care. They shove her out of the way. They're like, get out of here. They do kill some Chow in the process. And I don't know, it's kind of messed up, but I think seeing the Chow just kind of like lie there lifeless is kind of funny. Maybe I'm just sadistic, I don't know, but I think that's kind of funny. So as you'd expect, Chaos, you know, just one of the Chow in the eyes of the Chow and himself, is not okay with this. He's not okay with this, and he is losing it. So Chaos appears. You can see in the top right here. He kind of comes out of the ground because he's made of water. That's what he does, and he's like, tisk tisk tisk. And so, no, Pixelus is fun. Don't worry. Again, the Chow. What do the Chow do? How do they work? They absorb things, you know? So Chaos here, he's like, you know what? I have the 7 most powerful batteries on Earth just kind of surrounding me. I am going to absorb them. And then he does. And thus becomes perfect Chaos. This guy is what all of you have definitely seen from Sonic Adventure, Sonic Generations. He's been around. Harnessing the negative energy, the Chaos Emeralds, whatever that means. Honestly, they've only pulled that in Sonic Adventure, and that was it. But he just becomes this giant serpent and just destroys everything. And so what if an ancient absorbs the Chaos Emerald? I don't know where the ancients, like how they developed the ability to absorb stuff. I'm going to say that was just one of the things in their natural evolution that just happened. You sure Chaos is just a Chow? Yes. Yes, I am. They absorb stuff. I'm sure you can make a Chow absorb a Chaos Emerald if you tried hard enough. I just don't think anyone has. Sonic X... Well, yeah, but that's because Sonic X is based off Sonic Adventure. Anyway, so Tikal had a sacrifice. And using one of her grandmother's books, she had a prayer called... I mean, everyone just calls it Tikal's prayer. If you've read Archie, you've definitely seen this thing more than a few times because Knuckles uses it now and again, which is the 7 emeralds of the servers, Chaos is power, enriched by the heart, the controller serves to unify the Chaos, blah, 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 blah. And so she binds herself. We're going to see binding prayers a couple times, actually. This is not the only time Sega has used this. And I would think it would be cool if they continued to use it, given that it's popped up more than once. Would all the Chows become like Chaos if they absorb enough Chaos energy? Guys, Chaos does not look that way because of, like, mutation with the Master Emerald. I don't know where people got that idea from. I don't know if the wiki says it, but it's wrong. Perfect Chaos is an absolute by chance mutation, not because of how much he's been around the Master Emerald. There's like 8 of them chilling there. He's not going to be the only one to have a wild difference, and then all the other ones are just, like, untouched. That's not how that works. Not the case. Anyway, so she binds herself and Chaos into the Master Emerald, and they can be found there to this day. They're just chilling. They are now in that thing, and then how did they look like that? I don't know. Why do I have green eyes? It just happens. Genetics. Ooh. I don't know. It was a mutation. It had nothing to do with the Master Emerald, though. So they are now in there. The aftermath of that is that everyone who was charging died. And so the Knuckles clan was not quite wiped out, but was put into eternal decline. Again, I'm quoting the wiki here. Successive generations of Knuckles clan echidnas would subsequently take up this duty to protect the Master Emerald because they sided with Tikal and they said, okay, let's not have one person have this much power. Yeah. So they make a bunch of artwork explaining the tragedy that happened. You guys can see right here. You know, I'm sure a lot of you have seen this before. Don't call me that, Plitz. Don't call me that. Yeah, so they all started to die off, kind of womp womp. Now, at some point or another, and this is the interesting thing, You'll remember that... We gotta go back for this one. You'll remember that the ancients built the Master Emerald Altar in case they ever needed to move their farmland. Because the ancients didn't live on the Angel Island. They lived in Sky Sanctuary, which is, as you can see over here, above Angel Island. Anyway, using the technology from their Chaos engines, eventually the ancient Echidnas learned how to use that, and so they did, and they moved it off. This is the mural of the future, like in Sonic 3. This is a mural of the past. Though we will get to that mural in like 3 slides, so don't worry, Ozerman. Anyway, the Hidden Palace Zone. As they were moving around, they decided to start drilling. They're like, alright, let's go make more space. So they started to make the Hidden Palace Zone, which, by the way, is not to be confused with the Hidden Palace Zone on West Side Island. There are 2 different Hidden Palace Zones for some reason. I don't know why. So they started going through, and they didn't find... They found a lot of crystals. A lot of crystals. So many crystals around. A lot of them. None had any particular, like, energy. They're just regular crystals. Except for 7. That's not on my camera. For 7. Guess what they found in there? That's right. They found the Super Emeralds. So I need to clarify, because a lot of people don't know this, the Super Emeralds are different from the Chaos Emeralds. They're not like charged Chaos Emeralds or anything. They are entirely separate rocks. Pixelus, can I bring back my point that the blue light in Sky Sanctuary tiles? Yeah, you can. I still don't think it's the same. I think that'd be a really cool connection if they wanted to do that, but... No, I'd love that. That sounds pretty cool. Right, so I've always enjoyed the idea that South Island, West Side Island, and Angel Island used to be one landmass sharing the same ancient tribes in a single hidden palace zone. Well, I am here to slice that theory. I apologize, Riboflavin, but that's not the case. Anyway, so they decided, hey, we've got 7 of these things, just like the regular Chaos Emeralds. That's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and make a second altar for the Master Emerald in case we need to move it some way. And that's why, by the way, I'd like to say that the... God, this just validates my thoughts on Sonic lore just needing a full rewrite. No, it doesn't. I'm giving you everything that makes sense. It doesn't need a rewrite. It all works. It's right here. Why what, Riboflavin? Why are they all not on... This shit's confusing? Well, yeah, it's history. History's confusing. But don't worry. I have it all right here. Right, so the Super Emeralds are like the Chaos Emeralds. I'd like to point out that the architecture used in this altar is wildly different design than the one for the regular altar. And that's because this one was made by the actual Echidnas. The one before was not made by the Echidnas. It doesn't reflect their culture's kind of style of architecture. Thank you, Plitz. Anyway, as one of you guys were mentioning, you presume a village elder had a vision at some point, because the next time a mural was created regarding the Master Emerald, it was used here. It was the room directly before this. And it looks like that. And it's of a supercharged hedgehog-looking thing fighting a giant man. Question mark. Please stop. Yes. Thank you, call me Suki. There's more than 2 sets of magic rocks, I guarantee. There's a bunch. Anyway. So, here's some extra evidence, by the way, just to prove some things. In Team Sonic Racing, which is regrettably canon, Pixelus, that's with an ER. Spell it right. Seems like the inhabitants of West Island knew what the chaos was. They did. Creeper Boy. We'll get there. In the underground section of Spagonia, there are murals of both Chaos Zero and Ancients, which is really cool, by the way, because Team Sonic Racing came out before Frontiers, and nobody had any idea what these things were. But now we do, and I think that's pretty cool. They actually managed to expand on that. But importantly, these murals are found under Spagonia. What else is in Spagonia? Gaia Temple. the Spagonia Gaia Temple. And I don't know who made it, because it wouldn't have been made by the Echidnas. The Gaia Temples were already there. But there is a connection between the two. They are in the exact same spot. In PO6, Chaos shows up an Easter egg in a drain somewhere. He shows up in one of the tunnels in the Kingdom Valley underground water section. Yes. It is in Shadow Kingdom Valley. Yeah. Luana Guerra. Yo. Also don't think you're in the chat, but thank you for subscribing. Yep. I just don't like that the Super Emeralds are their own set of Chaos Emeralds, but stronger, which invalidates the Chaos Emeralds. I agree with you, Onzerman, which is why I'm happy to say, I don't know if it's in this PowerPoint or not. I guess not. But it's definitely somewhere else. The Super Emeralds are not ever to be used again. They are broken. They are permanently broken. You can find them in Sonic Mania's Encore mode, and they are completely drained. They're grayed out, like the Chaos Emeralds were in Sonic Unleashed, and they're also shattered, which I think... Right. No. Mochi, you kind of got that. Yeah. So they are canon. They very much were used. They very much were a thing, but they don't work anymore. They are never to be used again. And for the exact reason that Ozrin was saying, I agree. I don't want them to ever be used again. This is kind of a hot take from my perspective, but I do not like Dragon Ball. My reason being is because in Sonic, you very rarely get other super forms. And if it is, it's like a one-off thing for plot reasons, like Sonic and the Black Knight, it's an Excalibur thing. Yeah, it's a game about knighthood. Of course you're going to have an Excalibur upgrade. That's not stronger than the Chaos Emeralds. The Chaos Emeralds just aren't there. It's its own, totally separate thing. He can't just do that whenever he wants. So if Super Sonic's not strong enough, he's kind of just out of luck, and now the writers have to actually go be creative and think of something. Versus in Dragon Ball, which is like, oh, I've changed my hair color to be strong. Oh no, I'm not strong enough. I'm going to do it again. And then again. And there's like 18 of them. And it's like, just, I don't like that. Stop it. It invalidates the first one. There's no point in having a super state if it's not super. And if the thing you're fighting is stronger than super, you just gotta go find something else. You don't just get to go super again. That's stupid. So says me. What are you guys talking about? I wasn't looking at chat while I was ranting. The interesting thing I've wondered is why the Master Emerald is connected to the Chaos Emerald. If the Chaos Emeralds were located on the other side of the universe. Because we needed them to. Scientifically, this is a cartoon. Don't think too hard about it. Just by chance, there was a rock out there with the exact opposite frequency of the Chaos Emeralds. Would count Supersonic 2 count in that plot relevant thing? Yes, because Supersonic 2 was a combination of Supersonic and Cyberspace Sonic, whatever we call him, I forget. Ironically, Super Saiyan J3, I don't know what the J stands for, again, I don't watch Dragon Ball, I apologize, it looks so silly. Yeah, because the hair goes like all the way down. But giving Sonic a form with longer curls, if stylized right, would be logically badass. Because the game's release order. If Chaos Emeralds are from outer space, how can they even be connected with the Super Emeralds, or how do the Super Emeralds even exist? They are not connected with the Super Emeralds, they're a totally different thing. That's what we're talking about right now. Super Cybersonic. Cybersonic. Yeah. That's the one. Anyway, moving on. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Okay, chat. I'm gonna get some water. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna go get some ice and some water, and I shall return. Keep chilling. I'm gonna put on a little be right back screen. Actually, no I won't. No I won't. I'll be right back and you guys can read each other's chats. back. I'm back. I got my water. You can't see it because it's a green screen, but I have water. It's like the ice is just floating there. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Hola. Chair. Oh my god, guys. It's my chair. I like that the green stripes also get green screen, but like the black sides don't. Oh no, please don't clip that, chat. Please don't clip that the chat loves the chair more than it loves me. Chair is now the main character. No, someone clip that. We have a thing in the Discord. You know, streamer person's blocking my view of chair. The last time Shadow went super was back in 2006. Has he not gone super in IDW yet? Wait, no. Wait, yeah. The chair is very entertaining. All right, I just sat down, Brian. When I leave my chat to their own devices, they start... You guys are like the golden calf. I leave for 30 seconds and you guys are worshipping something else. Anyway, so 2,000 years from present day. Back to the thing. Lock in, guys. Lock in. The Black Arms. So we're getting to the next race of things. Right, yeah, no, I guess not. I guess he wasn't super in anything since 2006. Because Generations was Black Arms stuff. Speaking of the Black Arms, here's the Black Arms. So, this was a race of aliens. Very hostile. They're the bad kind of aliens, not the good kind of aliens. They were more the xenomorphs than they are the ETs. So these guys are led by Black Doom. Black Doom is... I included his height here. Those disgusting black creatures. Hi, CH Animates. Welcome to the chat, man. We just started going over the Black Arms. Did you see that height? 13'1". That's crazy. I have no idea if that includes him hovering, because he doesn't have legs. Do black... Oh, Flitz. That's... Don't say that. It's a wild thing to say, Flitz. M's husband? Oh boy. First time joining the stream. What are we doing? Hey, I Like Sleep. I Like Sleep is one of our regulars in the Discord, which, again, I would suggest that everyone joins. It's in the description of the video. It's on my channel profile, etc., etc. He just doesn't have any legs. If we take the row off, he's instantly 5'10". I'm still taller than, haha, by an inch. Haha. The Wisps and Mother Wisps are kind of the opposite of the Black Arms. Well, Creeper Boy, it's funny you mention that. Again, if you have read Archie, then there are... Eclipse is like Shadow's half-brother. Made entirely by Black Doom, and he raises his own version of the Wisps, and it's like a kind of a crossbreed between the Black Arms and the Wisps, so that's very fun. Any hoosers, so Black Doom, evil guy, runs the military. He's like, I hate everyone, and he, as you'd expect for someone who runs a hive mind, like he controls all of the Black Doom, all the Black Arms. He doesn't like infighting. And that's all humans do. We do nothing but infighting. And even then, we're not like the only thing on Earth. We have like billions of other organizations and, I mean, organisms. So a lot of not working togetherness. And he's not a big fan of that. So Black Doom's like, you know what? I'll handle it. I'm just going to kill you all, and then we won't have that problem anymore. Isn't Black Doom the father of the Black Arms? I mean, I don't know if it's like genetically he is, but yeah, he's in charge. So Black Doom decides, hey, you know what? This planet's pretty cool. I think I'm just going to have everyone die, and then we can just eat them. And then I can feed my own peoples with the flesh of humans. Doom's Eye is, I don't know if it like physically attaches to him at all, but if you've played Sonic, yeah, this is a Shadow Generations. If you've played that, then you would know of Doom's Eye. Doom's Eye is this little kind of starfish thing. It's like whoosh, whoosh, it moves around, and it can project holograms, and Doom's Eye, Doom himself can see through it, thus the name Doom's Eye. So it's like reconnaissance. Oh gosh, you guys are blowing up the chat. What is happening here? Oh, I remember Eclipse. Yeah. Blah 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 blah. Eclipse got eclipsed from existence. Yeah, rip Archie. But rip the everyone pre-Genesis even more. I get this is from because Shadow Generations didn't exist, but why didn't Black Doom try pulling the Doom powers in Shadow in 05, but he was willing to listen to him? I don't know. Because he just didn't care yet. Or, actually, you know what? I think they answered that in Shadow Generations. Didn't he just say that, like, Shadow wasn't ready? Whatever that means. Just for some plot reason. He and Ultron would be great friends. 8 billion course meal. He's only Shadow's dad, but he's not Shadow's only dad. Is Shadow momless? Yes. Shadow was made by 2 dudes. Rip Scourge the goat. Call me Suki gets it. Yeah. Anyway, so they show up. This is 2,000 years ago. They show up on the Earth, and it's probably more than that actually, Pixelus. And old man Yuri, yay, says Blitz. The Sky Troops and Glyphic Canyon. So Sky Troops are, well, they're troops in the sky. Whoa. And the Glyphic Canyon apparently has a lot of weapons on it. I can't tell. I make a joke about it in my Aliens video, but I'm like, that's just a loop-de-loop. Like, what? Huh? It's alien technology, man. I mean, hey, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is. But whatever. So they live on the Black Comet. The Black Comet is, well, a black comet that orbits the sun. And it passes by the Earth every 50 years. So this is like 4 trips ago is when they put all this stuff on the Earth. Yeah. They put it down. They went back to the comet. And that was it. We are now moving on from the Black Arms. The Black Arms were like, hey, I don't like these guys. I would quote a Snap Cube now, but I can't remember. Please laugh. Awesome Snap Cube reference. Dude, sorry, I was gone for 20 minutes. My cat's had a fight. I hope they're okay. But you didn't miss a whole lot. We went over the Black Arms. The hive of the Black Arms. Yeah. I mean, even in Sonic 3, Sonic Red Marita Longclaw, which is his mother figure. Which was Sonic's mother figure. Okay, so, moving on from the Black Arms. The Black Arms showed up. They decided, hey, we don't like these guys. Let's put down some weapons so we can kill them and eat them later. And that was the Black Arms 2,000 years ago. So about 1,300 to 700 years from present day. I can't give you an exact time. The collection of stories that we call the 1001 Arabian Nights finished being written. This is because Sonic and the Secret Rings exist, and thus this book exists. So, yeah, the book was written at some point in Sonic history. Wow. Probably written by whoever the Babylonians messed with. Pixelus? So, Sky Troops and Glyphic Canyon suspiciously remind me of the Gaia Temples. They both have green power sources. Do they? I was looking at red stuff. That's all red, dog. I'm looking at a lot of red lighting things. On Sky Troops, look underneath each one. That's not green. Wait, Storybook is canon. Okay, so Secret Rings is, Black Knight isn't. This is something that I will fight on people, because everyone fights me on this, where they say Black Knight is canon, and I'm like, no, it's not. Black Knight never happened. Black Knight was he was pulling that story out of his ass to not go on a date with Amy. That's how the game ends. Everyone forgets that the after credit scene negates the entire game. Nobody talks about this, but it does. And then, like, and we talked about this last stream, Sonic and the Secret Rings gets referenced a bunch. It's referenced in Generations. It's referenced in the racing games. It's referenced in... I know I just said the racing games, but like in Crossworlds, when they go to... Well, there is a location for Secret Rings, but there isn't one for Black Knight, and he literally calls out for Shara. He's like, hey, Shara, where are you? Like, that's just one of the lines. In Generations, he's like, yeah, no crazier than intergalactic amusement parks or genies. Again, no mention of the Black Knight there. So there is Mochi. Black Knight absolutely can be canon. And I really like Sonic and the Black Knight. But, well, no. Well, I just gotta... Whoa. Hold on, chat. I just got a bunch of emails from YouTube themselves. Oh. Right. I had a copyright claim on my Discord. I mean, sorry. On my Deltarune playthrough, because YouTube flagged me for using Deltarune's music. Which is like... Yeah, I'm playing the game. And they just said I was fine. That's nice. Sorry. Oh yeah, Pixelus is working on making Black Knight in Unity, right? Is that it? And you're doing it as an open world, or was that just to appease me? I still want it to be an open world game, but yeah. Any Hoosers. Plitz, no, I totally agree with you. Just because it's not mentioned again doesn't mean it's not canon, just no confirmation. But until it's confirmed anywhere, I'm going to say it's not canon, because we have so many stories trying to happen at the same time. If I can dock any, I will. Doesn't Toby Fox not care? Yes, and I quoted his tweet with a link to his tweet saying, yeah, you're probably going to get copyright striked because that's just how YouTube works, but here is me giving you full permission. I sent that in, and it's been 30 days now. So they just texted me back. They're like, hey, it's been 30 days, and we have not disputed your claim, so you're good to go. And I'm like, thanks. That'd be cool if it wasn't the only problem that I had with YouTube, though. I don't. I have another issue. So for those who don't know, if you're just popping here because it looked interesting or you saw my long form videos and that's why you're here, I have a short series called Who the Heck is Blank Anyway? And one of my most profitable one, annoyingly, was the one that YouTube decided to say was made for kids. It was Dave the Intern from Sonic Boom. I don't know why it did as well as it did, but it did. And YouTube was like, hey, this is made for kids, which legally means absolutely nothing. It just means that YouTube will stop pushing it for some reason. And it was really dumb. So I have been kind of yelling at them. And we've been in a conversation. They're like, yeah, we'll look into it. So I'm just kind of waiting on a review from that. Who the heck is Emperor Ix? Go watch my, it's the Sonic Chronicles one. I forget her name. Shade. Go look at the Who the Heck is Shade the Echidna Anyway short, and it will explain who Emperor Ix is. Sonic Boom mention. I have no mercy. I work in the fast food industry. Explodes you. I know who he is. I'm a Shrugpod fan. Yeah, that Shrugpod. He loves Sonic Chronicles. If Black Knight was canon, Sonic would be a massive douche for leaving his king without a king. Here's the other bit. Black Knight makes absolutely no damn sense. What? You're the real King Arthur? What do you mean he's the real King Arthur? No, he's not. King Arthur's dead. That's like how this story started. King Arthur died. Merlina didn't want him to. Merlina made a Black Knight that would continue running the land while she focused on being evil. It's not that Sonic is the real King Arthur. Like, as if that's some role that needs to be filled. There is a King Arthur. Like, factually, that's how the game opens. There is one. Then he dies. You don't need a new King Arthur. You just need a new king. Which I guess is Lancelot now, because if you know anything about King Arthur. Yeah. It's not his son, Mordred. Mordred kills Arthur. Oh yeah, wait, she explains this, like at the end of the game. She's like talking about the actual... I guess that's true, but Sonic with a sword needs to be true, please. Okay, it's funny. Last time we were streaming, someone mentioned that Black Knight's canon because Caliburn is used as a model in the Sonic Frontiers birthday event, and I was like, no? What? Just get to the next slide! Okay, 500 years ago, Le Morte d'Arthur is written and published. It translates from Middle French as the Death of Arthur, which we all know as King Arthur and his Knights of the Round Table. There. I'm not saying the game is canon, but the book was written. Jesus, it's Judas! He's gonna betray you! Dude, I really want to write that script. My mom is a theologian, and one of my brother-in-law is going into seminary right now. So, like, I have probably the best people to ask to write a honest-to-God Sonic Bible story. I think that'd be so fun. But anyway, so, here it is. Bada bing, bada boom. Ooh, Plitz, good for you, man. Let me know when you hit 1,000, dog. That's pretty sick. Black Knight is canon. Shut your mouth. I don't care. We're moving on. So, up until that point is everything that I can give you a date for. There are a lot of things in the Sonic lore that just don't have dates attached to them, so we'll go over those now. Though I did try and put them in order of what I think makes the most sense. As someone who has a 15-chapter-long fanfic called Sonic and the Monkey King, I love the storybook series. Monkey Khan is a pretty cool guy. I refuse to believe Sonic with a cool sword came out of the back of his brain. It came out of the front of his brain. That's like the coolest thing Sonic can think of. Okay, actually, Freeze raise your hand if you have read the latest IDW issue. Have any of you guys read that? It came out 2 days ago on Wednesday. Yeah, a bunch of you have? Okay. There was a bunch of panels that were completely docked because Sega didn't want them using a sword. Chat, I gotta pull this up. Hold on. Chill out for just a second as I snag this. I have to go to DG-Min's Twitter. DG-Min, the gorgeous man. DG-Min. For those who don't know DG-Min, he made all of the art for the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog, so you definitely recognize him from that. When my wife and I were reading IDW Sonic last night, we were a little confused at the fight scene because it looked really awkward. We were like, what's going on here? And then I went to do some after hours reading. Ooh. And I figured out why that's the case, why it looks so weird. And it's because Sega censored the hell out of DG-Min stuff, and it was really, really strange. So let me show you guys what I'm looking at here. Just gotta scroll down to what I'm doing. Let me snag. Isn't IDW canon? Yes, IDW is very, very much canon. In fact, Plitz, this is the last arc in IDW before we get to time skip till after Frontiers. All of IDW happens between Forces and Frontiers. After this, like, we have 3 issues, and then Frontiers actually gets to happen, and then we get to continue from there. Yeah. Okay. So, check this out. Sonic and Shadow are fighting. Shadow wants to take down Lunar. Lunar is hiding behind Sonic, and Sonic's like, hey, don't do that to Lunar, just let Lunar chill. So Shadow guns for what looks to be Sonic. He kind of brings out his arm here in a cut, but I don't think this arm was drawn this way initially. He kind of karate chops him. Sonic kicks his hand up. They start fighting, blah, 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 blah. Typical stuff. He just kind of stands there over him with a hand out, like. And then we have this shot where everyone is kind of disturbed that these two have been fighting. But then this person right here, I think you guys can see my mouse. This person right here is kind of grabbing her chest. She's like, ugh, like she was pained. But why would that person be pained? If we go to Digimin's actual thing, we can see his penciling. So he grabs one of the Sword Swallower's swords and then fights. Yeah, he dives at Sonic with that. This is them fighting. This is him pointing it over. So like this bit here, he's not karate chopping. He's trying to slice at Sonic with the sword. And this is Sonic kicking the sword out of his hand. Before here, when he swipes, he's definitely grabbing the sword again and then holding Sonic at sword point. But Sega decided to remove this for some reason. It was so interesting. It was so cool. You guess you like that? Shadow isn't usually that violent and pushy. Do you know who Shadow is? Violent and pushy is, that is his deal. Why do they hate swords? I have no idea, but you were talking about earlier, I forget who said it, but you were just like, the swords are the coolest thing. And they just straight up removed them. I don't know why. I guess it's a bit graphic. Make the characters bleed. I am more than happy to see these characters. By the way, the colors change almost every single panel. Like Shadow's skin color is changing constantly because of the different lighting, which I just really like. Anyway, that's why this person in the back of the final one is like pained, because Shadow pulled a sword out of his mouth. And they just removed it, and I think that's really dumb. You fool. Lunar, the sugar guy, is full pronouns. I'm doing my best, Pixelus. I'm trying to only refer to Lunar as Lunar. Yeah, so I really, really like swords. I think the Sonic characters with swords is really cool. I think Sonic characters with guns is really cool. I think Sonic characters without anything is really cool. But I think limiting them to not being able to use weapons... Like, he grabbed the sword from the Sword Swallower. He didn't just have a sword. Like, it made sense for the scene, and it added an interesting element to the fight. Removing the sword because it was too graphic, I think is a really dumb choice. The Sonic characters should be able to use more mature themes, weapons, and language. That is always and will be my opinion on it. Things like, I don't know, I mean, Shadow's backstory, Knuckles' backstory, the metal virus. These are the best stories they've ever told, and they're that good because they're dark. Sonic characters thrive in dark situations. They always have, and that's like the best stories they can tell. Anyway, back to the lore. The lore! Unknown points from present day. Click. Click. Here we go. The Ifrit. The Ifrit is a giant demon bird thing from the Chaotic Inferno, which is another dimension. That's funny, Pixelus. The Ifrit. Yeah, good question, Plitz. What the hell am I looking at? So, apparently it's a bird, which I don't see it. I know that Again, Shrug's not here, but if he was, he'd be able to tell us about this thing because he was just playing Sonic Rivals 2. I think he's still playing it. Go check him out on Wednesdays when he streams. And I definitely popped into his chat as he was fighting the Iblis. As the Ifrit. It looks like a dragon. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I wouldn't say a bird. I don't know why everyone calls it a bird. Who the heck is video to understand? Plitz. You madman. I don't have the Ifrit down on my who the heck is anyway. Guys, I have to add this now. I'm going to the master list, and I'm adding it right now. You guys can't see the master list because it would ruin the surprise. Crazy. I guess I'll have to add him to miscellaneous. Alright. I'll add him directly above Professor Victoria. Dang, I wish I realized that when I was still going over game characters. Well. Alright. Alright, he's added. Added. I will leak the list if... Who's that Pokemon? What the hell is this? He beat the Ifrit yesterday at the end of stream. Leak the list. $10 for the master list. I like sleep. If you actually pay me $10, I will do that. Okay, I don't have it set up right now. But on that note, we are trying, for real? Yes, for real. We're trying to set up a Minecraft account, not account, a server for like the Discord. You got PayPal? I have YouTube. You can do a super chat, my friend. And we have been, yeah, Minecraft. I don't have it set up right now because I was going to. For this very stream, I was going to start with that. But I guess next stream, I'll start having an actual bar at the bottom underneath the text that we have right here. It'll be like down here. I'll like just I'll rise the text a bit. And then we'll have a little bar that just says like funding for the Minecraft server. And it's like $6 a month, I think. It's not much. So we should definitely be able to hold on to it for a long time. I'd have you to mod your server and streams, Connor. Pixelus, we'll be playing modded Minecraft. Don't you worry. I will happily be playing that. We might even do like once a week. Like Wednesday streams we'll do Sonic stuff, Friday streams we'll do Minecraft stuff. If there isn't anything in particular like Sonic that's happening. Make it the Sonic Rush boost meter. I'll think about it. I'll decide which GUI I want to use, but I think making it a boost meter is a really good idea. We're not doing Sonic Minecraft. It'll be in Java. So we won't be doing the Bedrock stuff. Mochi, there's a difference between modded Minecraft and like a modded vanilla Minecraft. It'll be vanilla friendly. Bedrock Marketplace. Bad. Okay. I don't know why Connor wants to make a Minecraft server. Dude, Minecraft's awesome. Chat, do you think Minecraft is awesome? Anyway. The Ifrit. So, the Ifrit is this giant demon bird. It eats Chow, apparently, which I think is dumb. Don't make a character, okay, if you're gonna make a character. Don't make one of its prime things that people know about it, like its food source. Something that doesn't actually exist in that universe. Like this guy, according to Sonic Rivals, eats Chow. That's how it lives. But like, Chows don't exist in the dimension it does. That doesn't make any sense. That's bad character design. Imagine not growing up with Roblox Sonic. You have the Blockopedia, it's really outdated. I have the original Minecraft creation books. That $10 is not available right now. Well, I like sleep. Don't worry. Next stream we'll have the thing up and you can stick it then. You fool. You don't eat chow. You drink them. Yeah, that's why he's so angry. He's hungry. Okay, so the other West Side Island. I forget who was mentioning it, but someone did. Oh, also. Where is he? James McIntyre, you join. Oh, okay, just right there. Look at that. You know the official Sonic timeline is actually on Sonic Channel? Yes, but parts of it are wrong. Sonic can be wrong, by the way. Riboflavin, I've gotta get that thing to work. I think on stream it just pops up as like, yeah, face blue smiling colon. But on the chat that I'm looking at, I can actually see the emote, so that's nice. One of you guys was mentioning how there is another West Side Island. Here it is. This is the other one. My theory is that Chow have water as their insides. Herf. I see no Chow leaking out of these things. Sorry, I see no water leaking out of these guys. These guys are dead. They have been smashed into the floor. If that were the case, we'd see water. There isn't any. Anyway. Demon Coin, the coolest. Hello. It's because their skin is strong. Do you guys think Chow are like... they have rough skin or smooth skin? I think they have smooth skin. They don't have blood. They're like the Pikachu movie. Scaly skin. I think they have plastic skin. Okay. They're blue, water's blue, boom, put two and two together, you get 4. So, West Side Island. This, look, you've never heard of this. Okay, so Creeper Boy, here's my official, this is the Canon construction advice. The instruction booklets, manuals, those are not canon. Dude, so many people use manuals as canon, and it is infuriating to listen to. The manuals were made for the localization of the game at the time. So much has changed since then. A, we're actually getting direct translations, or at least we're getting translations that mean the same thing. And also, Sega of Japan and Sega of America actually care to work together now, and they've been doing that for about 20 years. Almost every manual from, like, I don't know, really just before Unleashed, is just out the window. Like, it's its own thing, don't listen to it. The lore that is ever stated, like, you got stuff, it's like, oh, you know, Sally Acorn is Sonic's girlfriend, and it's like, that, no, it's not. What? And that's just in a manual. That's in one of the manuals. It's not canon. It's not a thing. This is from one of the manuals. The only reason I'm including it is because Christian Whitehead, when working on Sonic Mania, and decided to make this from Hidden Palace Zone, the West Side Island, said that there's still stuff there that is canon. And because that is such a new bit of information from an official source, I'm going to keep it. Does that make sense? Also, there's no reason to, like, there's no reason for this not to be canon, right? Eggman being called Eggman is because of Sega of America? No, that's not the case. What do you mean, Pixel? It's the other way around. Eggman was always called Eggman in Japan. He was only called Robotnik in America. On top of that, fun fact though, for those who don't know, saw... What am I thinking of here? Right. Chili dogs. Everyone knows Sonic loves chili dogs. That's like his favorite thing. Aside from going fast. Not always the case. That started in Unleashed in Japan. That was like just not part of his character at the time. This is a great example of like the two not really working together. Once Unleashed happened and they really started to actually go, okay, hey, what story do you want to tell, Sega of America? And they said, can we add this? And then Japan's like, yeah, sure. And then they actually start working together. I think Chowmix goes over this pretty well. He's got an entire video on Sonic and chili dogs. But that was a very American Sonic thing that was not replicated on the other side of the world. Now it is and has been for the past, 20 years. But I've always thought that was really interesting. So there's a fun fact for you. Anyway, Hidden Palace is on West Side Island, not the Hidden Palace zone underneath Angel Island. This one, as Christian Whitehead says, someone or something lived down here maintaining a grand cathedral, but has since been lost to time. And a lot of Master Emerald looking crystals. None of them have energy, they're just big crystals. Kind of in the same way those all the purple crystals from Angel Island's Hidden Palace zone. And the mysterious organ. Which, yeah. I like sleep. You said you have a crazy theory for the organ. Pray tell. Stream's lagging. Is it? Not according to YouTube. YouTube says we're fine. Yeah, Herf, I think that's just you. Sonic is... Okay, Herfy. I love you, Herfy. Guys, Sonic has never once ever uttered the phrase, gotta go fast. In canon. Ever. It is infuriating how people think that is the, like... I don't like it. I've never liked gotta go fast as a catchphrase. Because, I mean, it's a great taunt. It's like you're too slow from Smash Brawl. Like, it's fine. But that's never something that the character has really ever said. He says it in Sonic Boom. He says it in Sonic X. He says it in a bunch of other things. The movies. But canonically, I don't think he's ever uttered that phrase. Do they have special roads for Sonic? What do you mean I like sleep? Okay. I mean, there's a lot of... Then what is Sonic's quote? I would love for his quote to be, let's do it to it, but that's Archie. I don't know what his quote is. It's probably long time no see. Riftical Rex. Hey dog, what's going on? Welcome to the chat, man. We're talking about Sonic stuff. He hasn't. Sam Progressing has fact checked that, I think. That's good. I'm Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, that'd be his quote. No copyright law in the universe can stop me. Gotta juice it. No. Nope. Basically, is there stuff on bicycle roads for Sonic, like for him to run on? Yeah, it's called The Ground. He just goes wherever he wants. Anyway, we're moving on. What you see is what you get. I'd love for that to be a quote, but he has only said that once. So, Little Planet. Let's talk about Little Planet. Little Planet, I did not end this quote. Whoops. Plitz, that's actually not a Sonic quote. Oh, no, it is, I guess. Yeah, it is. But, like, to abide to traffic rules, he doesn't. Sonic has no roads that Sonic cares to follow the traffic rules of. So Little Planet appears. Still makes it what's a quote? It's not a catchphrase. We're talking about catchphrases. Little Planet will appear. Let me start a third time. Sonic CD is a game from Sonic CD. Yeah. And there is a thing that shows up called Little Planet. Pops in. Canon, I have 500 hours in Shadow 05. Do not correct me. Okay. Okay, I'll take your word for it, Flitz. I remember him saying that's in Westopolis. I always wish Sonic Spidey sense from CD would have stuck around. I think it's really cool that he had that in concept. For those who don't know what Herfy's talking about, they're in concept for CD when they were still making the character for the first time, right? This is like within the first 4 years of his existence. They decided to make it a thing where Sonic would have to sneeze before something bad happened. And that's why he does this a lot. And you can see him actually do this in Sonic CD seconds before the chain slams into the mountainside. They immediately docked this, and I think it's for the best. It doesn't make any sense given the character, but I do think it's funny, and I enjoyed looking at it when it happened in CD. You keep saying canon when you mean game canon. Well, Purple Boy, that's what I mean by canon. That is what I mean. Yeah, sure, there are different canon. Sonic Boom is its own canon, but when I just say Sonic canon, I mean the games. You are correct. There's a lot more land than water on Little Planet. That is true. Sonic has a cold during CD. Confirmed. Riftical Rex said something earlier. One funny thing I just remembered is that some people say the end is Sonic's strongest enemy, while Ian Flynn said Solaris is the strongest, the end follows right behind it. At least I think so. The end being Sonic's strongest enemy, I don't care who says it, is a really, really dumb idea. It's a rock that shoots lasers. Solaris can collapse time. There's a huge difference there, guys. When does CD take place? It's the second game. Before I knew how Little Planet worked, I thought it was like a comet that happens every few years. Zor is strongest. Sonic's strongest enemy. Zor is the most interesting Zeddy. But chat, we'll get to the Zeddy. We're not there yet, but we'll get there. So Little Planet is a little planet. It is a very, very small celestial body, probably the size of like a city in terms of actual landmass. And it appears over Never Lake, which is this really big lake. It happens it's unaffected by gravity, just kind of hovers there, and it pops into existence for about a month, a random month during the year. We're actually not sure which month it happens. I'm pretty sure it's different every time, which is why, and I believe I'm quoting Amy when I'm saying this, it's hard to schedule a picnic for. A picnic which, by the way, you can see Sonic & Co. do in the, again, non-canon, but Sonic and DC stuff, which is fully done now. I've read it. It was fun. Guys, I'm not power scaling Sonic things right now. That's a conversation for another time. People question how Styx is mentioned in Frontiers. Go... I'm not gonna... Okay, again, that's like a whole can of worms. Just go watch my Who the Heck is Styx the Badger short, and then I talk about it in the comment below. I like sleep. Your crazy-ass theory for the organs that was meant to disperse energy through sound, but since the organ hasn't been played, the big-ass emeralds don't have power. That'd be pretty cool. I mean, it makes me wonder where the organ's getting the energy from. If anything, I'd say the organs would be powered by the emeralds, not the other way around, but whatever. If Metal Sonic was stuck on the Little Planet from CD to Sonic 4, how would that make any sense? He isn't. Why would he have been? But again, I haven't played Sonic 4, so I don't know. I've only played Episode 2, and it was probably just Sylvania Castle Zone. Okay. Right, so Little Planet, you guys have read the screen by this point. I don't need to say any more. Moving on. Moving on. Without the Time Stones? The Time Stones. Remember how I was saying that every planet in the Sonic universe has its own set of rocks? Like the Ancients have the Chaos Emeralds. Earth has the Master Emeralds. Well, Little Planet has the Time Stones. And they're just time versions of Chaos Emeralds. You can use them to travel through time. Wow! Oh boy. Yippee! The Time Stones! Yay! Wow! Time Warp! So these signposts, I don't know who made them. Again, I think this is really cool. So as you can see here, Little Planet is full of cities and stuff, but there's like no life on it, which is just something that they've never touched on. But there was some sort of genocide on Little Planet, and we don't know what it is. So yeah, the speed at which you slap one of these bad boys translates directly into how far into the past or future you go. That's pretty cool. At some point in history, sometime hundreds of years ago, some man, I don't know who that is, just appears out of one. He builds a bunch of badnik things. The signposts are game mechanic and not canon. Sega themselves said that. Riftical Rex, prove it. Prove it, Riftical Rex. Join my Discord and post that in general. I will happily go back and say otherwise if that is the case. But I don't believe you. And then he disappears. And then some blue little hedgehog looking motherfucker, I don't know who this guy is either. He just appears someday, hundreds of years ago, out of one of these things, breaks all of the badnik factories that the other dude put down, and then he vanishes out of existence as well. It was very weird. It's very weird. Anyway, the Lost Hex. Little Planet World War II? Yeah. Hedgehog and Flynn. So some of the time travel posts not being canon to short just seems stupid. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't be. There's like no reason for them not to. Tell you what though, I hate when people say rings are canon. Rings are not canon. That annoys the hell out of me. There are kinds of rings that are like the warp rings, the special zone rings, same thing. Those are canon. But like the rings you just collect in the stage, those are just gameplay elements. They're not canon. Someone lost a shape? Mr. Tinker. I love that line of dialogue. Pixelus, that whole conversation with Mr. Tinker was fun. Why is the hex lost? Because, wait, what about ring currency? What is the currency? But money. Ring is not currency. Kinda, sorta. I don't know. It changes so frequently, and it's never really been confirmed anywhere. In fact, the only thing that has been confirmed is there is no currency. Which, again, is like... The rings don't appear at IDW. They don't. Shadow hasn't mentioned collecting rings during you... Yeah, they also say you can press the RT button to swap rails. That doesn't mean there's an RT button hovering above a character. The Ark? Somebody lost a parabola? Yeah, exactly, Pixelus. Just because they say something doesn't mean it's true. Everyone thinks that everything that is ever mentioned has to be canon, and that's just not the case. In fact, that's where game theory went so wrong when making their own. They just kind of assume that everything has to be canon. Because Aaron Webber, in a probably one of the worst decisions, like PR decisions they've ever made, said everything is canon. Press the B button to... Sorry, what was I talking about before I started ranting about rings? Oh wait, let me finish my rant about rings. Currency. Sega's official answer is that there is no currency in the Sonic universe. Which is, again... Sega can just be wrong. I'll give you an example of how they're wrong. The entire existence of the Chaotix. There's money in the universe. It's not a moneyless... That's so dumb. I wouldn't say rings are canon. I don't think that would make any sense. At the end of the day, it is gold. So, we're not having hyperinflation. Let's just accept that they have basic Japanese currency. I totally agree with you. Thank you. You've seen the 11-minute rant with the guy who has multiple degrees in acting just 2 months. I have seen a video titled, "Please Let Me Play Big the Cat in Sonic 4. I didn't watch it, but I guess that's what you're referring to. Right, just because Sega says something doesn't mean it's gospel. The same goes for Izuka and Ian Flynn, by the way. They're right most of the time, don't get me wrong. But, like, we can just find things. Rings aren't gold according to MatPat. Yeah, well, you know what else is according to game theory? I don't have it pulled up anymore. Wait, what? Wait. No, it's gone. But the thing I'm pointing at, that's also what they said. And it's dumb, so don't listen to them. Oh, I removed my stream layout. Oh no. Okay. If rings aren't canon, why are time posts canon? Because how else would that work? It makes sense that the rings aren't canon. They have money. And if you have money lying around the floor, obviously that money no longer works as money. But, like, how would the time posts work if not time posts? Because he doesn't have any of the time stones on him while he does that. Why wouldn't it be canon? Right? Like, that's the best way to ask yourself this. Black Doom saying, press the X button to speed up on rails. It's canon for me. Don't you lecture me with your 30 ring quill cut. Thank you, I like sleep. Rings are very important, Archie. Yes, they're very much canon in Archie. But Archie isn't canon, so I don't care. I'm unsure about signposts because of the rings comparison. I can see a case for either way, and I'd love for the post to be canon. Rings are magical objects that protect you from harm. Simple as. Oh yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. Except for those poor bastards that died during Westopolis during the Black Arms attack. Yeah, I wish they had rings on them. Oh wait, they don't, because that's not how it actually works. Sorry, I'm gonna move on from the rings now. We're gonna go talk about the other thing that I hate. Welcome back to more things that I hate. This is just a canon construction rant stream. The Lost Hex. So, one of my least favorite facts about the Lost Hex, and Pixels, we're not talking about Sonic Prime. Don't get me started. We're never gonna finish, guys. We're never gonna finish this stream. This PowerPoint, if I just keep ranting about things. So, apparently, Gerald Robotnik was the person to discover Angel Island. Oh yeah, Mephiles stabs Sonic and just splurts out rings. I can see that in my head. That's really funny. Which I've always thought was really dumb. But I understand that, yeah, just pretend Prime doesn't exist. Just pretend it doesn't exist. But the Lost Hex being lost, sure, up until Tails found it, okay, whatever, moving on. The Zeti. I love the theme song for the Zeti, though. And I talked about this. Again, I have shorts on all these things, so go ahead and take a look. I wish Prime didn't exist. Zor! Yeah! Zor's the one in the bottom left. He's the depressing little dude. He's the most interesting Zeti by far, and he's also the one used the least, which is really, really annoying. So these guys, weirdly, have legitimate ages. Like, Sega has kind of decanonized, which, again, is another rant that I could go into, but they've decanonized all their ages, except for these guys. They're still there. If you go to the wiki, they still have their ages pulled up, which is weird. Check Discord? Okay. You guys should all join the Discord. Golly, that's startup. Oh, you're talking about the, yeah. Nope. Don't like the Deadly Six. I'ma crush you! My years of playing Sonic Dash has that ingrained into my head. Yeah. Exactly. Thank you, Creeper Boy. This is exactly what I was going to mention. They do. They start mentioning stuff. How the Zeti's culture might be older than the Babylonians. You know what's funny about that? They're wrong. I know when the Babylonians started. I have it right here. If we fly back to the Babylonians from the last stream, it's a while back. That was before, yeah. All of this stuff happened before the Knuckles clan stuff. And that was 3,000 years ago. So if the Zeti have only been around Master Zik for 1,000 years, I mean, yeah, there may well have been Zeti before, but none that are important to us. Is Sonic lore bigger than FNAF or Star Wars lore? Probably not as big as Star Wars, but definitely bigger than FNAF. So, I know why they decanonized the ages. It was a dumb choice. They don't need to remove the ages. They need to confirm them hard, and then just age everyone up. I can add them when you said your name. Sorry, Creeper Boy. I was saying that I agree with your thing. How they talk about kind of... They give a vague kind of idea that there is age present for that. I don't know why they keep using Zaz. I don't understand why they keep using Zaz. Use Xena, dude. I hate to say, oh, Gunnar, who, but like, people want to see Xena. Put Xena in. No one cares for Zaz. Herfy, that's a crazy line. I absolutely disagree with you there. It's on his goalpost, it's on his big ring. Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. The warp rings are canon. His new voice actor is Fire. What, Zaz? He sounds the same, does he not? By the way, Jet's voice actor is growing on me. I like Jet. You like Zaz? You like Zaz? I'll pay you back 1,000,000 times for what you did. I really like Jet's new voice actor. I'm still not a big fan of Bryce Papenbrook. I still really prefer Pete Capella for Silver. But I am liking Jet's new voice actor. Anyway, so Master Zik decided to form the Deadly Six one day. Each one of them controls a different biome. Here are their names, along with the biome that they control. There you go. Please look up Zaz now, heard how he sounds in Lost World. Sure, but later. So, moving on from the Lost Hex, we also have Planet Wisp, Sweet Mountain, and Asteroid Coaster. Or whatever Asteroid Coaster was before the coaster was built there. So just, I guess, asteroids. This is less important for story reasons. This is just that these places existed at some point in history, so in a Sonic lore video, I need to mention them at least once. So, here you go. They're there. They're somewhere in space. They're in their own solar system. Bada bing, bada boom. I want to say that they are near the Donpa Kingdom. I am assuming I'm wrong, but it would make a bit more sense. No, it wouldn't. Doesn't make any sense. Forget I said anything. Donpa Kingdom is a thing, but it's different. I should add Donpa Kingdom to this PowerPoint. Huh. Weird. He's not actually on here, but that is a thing that I should mention because it happens before the first game. Donpa is a guy who runs this stuff. Do the Wisps have their own god? Dude, I don't know if the Wisps can count to 5. Like, no. IDW show that they have a lot of intelligence, actually. So never mind. I'm gonna say no. Who the heck is the Donpa anyway? Pixless, you're joking. I actually have one. So, go look at that short if you want to know. Why do you feel Mario is better than Sonic? It makes no sense. Real, Plitz. Real. As a Whisper fan, I'm offended. Yeah, my point exactly. They make the Wisps a lot more intelligent in that. The Wisp! Oh boy, the Wisps! The more aliens, yay! God, there's so many aliens to the point where I can make a video about them. There's like, you'd think, oh, it's got like aliens. Maybe there's like 1, 2, maybe like 5 would be a lot. There's 24 different alien species in the Sonic universe, and they're all totally unrelated to each other. I don't think they did. Say that again? What? I thought there were like 6 or 7. Buddy, I have an entire video on that. Do we count Frenzy and Void? Yes. Well, okay, by 24, I don't mean 24 different species of the Wisp. There are... not quite that many as of the Wisps, but I meant like different species altogether. Like, the Wisps count as 1. But yeah, they're all there. They're all there. I saw Frontiers 2 pitch making the black arms be related to the end in some way and thought of how they did it was pretty cool. I'll have to look into that because I don't think that I taught there were 6 or 7 aliens. You did say that, Plitz. I still don't know the music wisp existed until Lanolin. Yeah, so a lot of the wisps came from Sonic Lost World on the DS. They were not in the original Sonic Wii, and that's one of them. I'm not sure if Forces actually added any. But then Team Sonic Racing happened, and they added in the Jade Wisp as the final one. And then it was brought back into it, like it had totally had been there the whole time. We just didn't see it because, well, Rise of the Jade Wisp or whatever it's called is like an entire short taking place during Sonic Colors Wii. Lost World on the DS? You mean Colors on the DS? No, I mean Lost World on the DS. Lost World had its own DS port. Anyway, the North Star Islands. Here's another place in the world of interest. I don't know when civilization kicked up around here, but it did. I have pieced together a map using 3 different sources. Here you go. And eventually Eggman rolled in and built stuff. You like that? You like that transition there? Yeah. So as you can see, this is like where most of Trip's civilization lives. This is just kind of jungle. Eggman showed up, built a bunch of stuff here, including his Sky Fortress, whatever it's called. Inside the North Star Island, there is, again, this is all Trip's cultural history. Something about a really big sealed dragon. Can I get a brief rundown on what the heck the Black Opal is? Go watch my shorts! The Black Opal is out of the master list? No, Pixelist. It's already there. It's already there, dog. Go watch. Who the heck is Trip the Sun Gazer anyway? So many of my questions can be answered. I've already done it. I started making that short series about 3 months ago. I make one every other day. For the first month, I made one every day, and it was way too much work, so I stopped. I was like, I'm never getting any long-form videos out if I do nothing but shorts every day. I can't go check. I'm watching your stream. Fine. You need 100% superstars to post-story content's peak? Herfy, no. I played Sonic Superstars for 20 minutes, and I got over halfway through the game. And then I quit. I refunded it. I was like, I'm straight up not having fun. It's going too fast. And then apparently Superstars will like just skill check you with the hardest boss they've ever made. And I'm like, I don't care for this. So I just stopped. Oh, I forgot what I was saying. Right. I was really surprised that no one had made a Who the Heck is Sonic character series yet. So I was like, I'm going to do that. And then I have been. And I want to do every single character, no matter how obscure. If you've seen my thing so far, as I'm running out of game characters, I just started pulling out the most obscure characters possible. Like, who's Illumina? No one's ever heard of Illumina. But, whipped it out. Superstars isn't good, but it's not bad. I didn't think it was bad. I had a good time. It was just like, I wasn't going to pay $60 for a game that I can beat in 3 hours. I'm not having a Forces again. That's what Forces was. I'm not doing that again. I bet there's a very specific character you haven't heard of. Is she the gal from Sonic Shuffle? She is the gal from Sonic Shuffle. One of the gals. She is the completed gal. Well, it was. I Like Sleep. It's not anymore. Heavy and Bomb Wen. Heavy and Bomb Wen Archie. I thought it was 20 like Mania. Well, it probably is now. I'm talking about when it first came out, dog. It was like a year and a half ago, if not 2. Anyway, that's pretty much everything in the Sonic universe except Donpa Kingdom, which I guess I'll add in later. At some point in time in another dimension, we have the Soul Dimension, a parallel Earth. Ooh, we're going to talk about that now. Dapper Skoros, hi, welcome to the chat, man. We're talking about Sonic lore. Also, has the skunk from Archie been done yet? I haven't done anything for Archie yet. Archie will be its own, probably the final bit that I do. Also, Jeffrey St. John is a phenomenal character, and I will fight anyone who doesn't like him. But again, that's a conversation for another time. The Soul Dimension! At some point in history, the Jeweled Scepter was formed. It is able to channel the power of the stars. Whatever the hell that means. It has never actually been used, so we don't know what that means. It's Mr. Eggman Negative threatened to use it at some point, but we didn't actually get to see it happen because Sonic and Blaze stopped him. So I have no idea what power of the stars mean. Anyway, it's kept in the Soul Empire, which is built by a lineage of royal cats. This is the building. It's the only shot that we have of the entire kingdom. Shout out to IDW for being cool. We do need another Soul Dimension game. And we were talking about this last stream, that Ian Flynn does not like the Soul Dimension at all. He's like, I really want to just merge it with the main one. And I'm like, you have a space issue. You're running out of places to like add in settings. You have an entire planet that you have not touched yet. What is wrong with you? Go use it. So yes, I would love another Soul Dimension story. Superstars gave us classic Sonic in a shadow costume and Feels the Rabbit though. Feels the Rabbit's pretty cool. As a Quaver Orange fan on Twitter, if you know his stuff, he's a pretty cool artist. He does some stuff with Feels the Rabbit. What is happening? Wait, chat, hold on. I just got a tweet from Katie Chris. Calling all North American Sonic content creators, now your chance to apply for a key for Sonic Racing Crossworlds? Guys? Guys. Wait, I gotta do this. Hold on. Hey, yo? They're gonna give out a free key for Sonic content creators? Guys, I could get you Sonic Crossworlds for free. Who wants it? Do you guys mind if I do this right now? Give me a second. I'm gonna do this right now. I hate to just put you guys on hold, but this is kind of important. Pixeless, I may well. Nah, I'm kidding. She can use my account. Dude, because Crossworld has couch co-op, so I won't need that. That'd be funny, but I don't need it. Plitz, stop copy and pasting that. Welcome to the Sega Key Distribution Program. Name, Connor Cox. Email, jconnorcox@gmail.com. For those who don't know, my first name is actually Jeffrey. It's also my dad's name, so I never go by it. Social accounts. I am over 18, yes. Okay. We're gonna go copy and paste. Connor, my soul is yours! Spell my name right! How many times am I going to tell you this? I like sleep. It's with an E. E-R. I always think of the thing with, what's his name? Kratos. And he's like, my life is yours. Nope. You know what? It's probably better to do on the computer, actually. Let me, hold on. Hold on, chat. You guys want to see me do this? Behold. We're going to Twitter. Replies. It's right here. Yoink. My name is Connor Cox. This is my business email if you ever want to reach out for any reason, by the way. Feel free. It's on. None of this is like information that you guys can't know. This is all fine. This is all literally on my YouTube bio. My social accounts. If I go to me, we're right. Ooh, I gotta listen to this later. I love the 8-bit drummer. Yoink. Skapow. Add. Yeah, that's me. And I'm happy to submit with YouTube. That's cool. I don't mind. Good, good. Nice. Alright, guys. Okay. Okie dokie. Don't worry about it. I'm not giving you my SSN. Actually, it's 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 8 9. No. Ares, destroy my enemies and my life is yours. Ian, give me a Blaze game and my life is yours. Okay. And my social security is 69. That's really fun. That's really fun. Guys, would you guys do me a favor? Can you guys do me a big favor? Chat? I need you to do me a favor. Can you, for me, for us, because this will go back to you, that's the point of this. Can you go to my Twitter right now? It's just, it's in probably the description for this video, if not my profile on YouTube. Go to my Twitter, follow me please. First of all, follow me. Then go to replies. My thing will be here and like it. So then my name will be higher up and we have a much better chance of actually getting one. I'm going to give you guys a minute. I'll give you 2 minutes. Would you do that for me, please? This is for the benefit of the group. I refuse to use Twitter, plus I'm not allowed. I'm sorry. That's fine, Pixeless. I do technically have a blue sky, by the way. Not going to follow, but I'll like. Whatever you may do. Don't have a Twitter account? That's fine. For those who can, please do. Please help. To win the system. I'm sending... What do I call you guys? Let's talk about that for a minute. I have no name for my group. Riftle Rex, I was on the hunt for a video, but I searched on Google, and even the AI engine sets a game mechanic. From what I understand, the AI takes in for the web. That's confirmed. AI is really dumb, dude. I had a great conversation with ChatGPT the other day about Sonic stuff, and there was not a single sentence out of its mouth that I didn't have to correct it on. Canon Nation, the Connorlings, the construction crew, the foreman. See, I was gonna say it. I'm not calling you the dickheads. I'm not calling you canonists. I'm not calling you little slaves. Yes, go my little slaves. Like my tweet. No, I would actually love to call everyone foreman. I think that's really funny. I know absolutely nothing about construction, but it is good to stay on theme. Your viewers. Thanks, viewers. And viewers like you. Riboflavin, did you like the video? Plix, I'm not even saying that out loud. don't do that again, dog. That's my fault. Sorry, I spent a year talking to ChatGPT about nothing but true Sonic lore. I don't know. I might go with Foreman. Connor 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. I'm not. Dude, I hate wisps. Dude, I laughed so hard when in the. It's from a few years ago. I think it was for Sonic Colors Ultimate. They had the Twitter takeover, and someone was like, "Eggman, how far can you punt Yacker?" And he's like, "Oh, easy, 20 yards or something." No, I don't like the Chow either. We talked about this last stream. Yeah, I'll come up with some name to call you guys. Across a football field, easy. Sega said Sonic travels through time by sparking his quills. Riftical Rex, how does that make sense though? Like, why doesn't he do that right now? Canonists is still on the table. It sounds like communists. I don't want to call everyone communists. That fucking wisp that I hate. Yeah. I'll come up with some construction themed bit for you guys. I'm refreshing the page. Who's liked it? Ooh, ooh, ooh. All right, chat. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We can actually get back to stuff now. If only I could be called the foreman. I do have a foreman. Why is that probably spam? Because it's just an image. It's weird. I've seen over 100 videos confirming Sega said that, and yet you can't name one. Sorry, I was cleaning my sink. Post like. Thanks, Riboflavin. Just joined the Discord server. Good. Everyone, go be like Creeper Boy. If you haven't joined the Discord server, go do so. It's a fun place. We got cool stuff. Plitz, I just said don't say that again. You said it a literal second time. Unless it was just a really late reply. What the heck? Huh? 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 Whatever. It's an error. Please use a keyframe frequency of 4 frames or less. I don't know what that means. Yeah, if you're 18, please join. I want Sonic to call Metal Sonic a clanker. Dude, that's something that Prime Sonic would do to Chaos Sonic, though. Okay, Ozerman. I want to do that for, like, I don't know, I just don't want to get in trouble by anything, so I'd rather have everyone be 18 and up, but there's no reason for me not to. I don't care if you're 17. We're not doing anything inappropriate, it's just a Discord for Sonic stuff. But for the time being, whatever. So. You guys are all weird. I'm looking at the Discord right now. You guys are all weird. Tune made a Twitter account just to like my post. Thanks, Tune. That's commitment. So we're moving back to the Soul Empire. Sorry, we're actually moving away from the Soul Empire. That was the Soul Empire. There was an empire. It's run by Blaze and her family. It's another dimension. They have a thing to do stuff. Cool. That's fine, Pixelus. Plausible deniability, Pixelus. Oh, just because your parents don't want you in Discord? Whatever makes you comfortable, man. It's fine. You're not being forced to do anything. I'm happy just to have you in the group chat. Riftical Rex, I will not trust you. I appreciate it, but it's not going to happen. Big is the predecessor of the Soul Empire throne, if you didn't know, by the way. This is, okay, again, Herfey was here last stream, that's what we were talking about. A lot of people think that the Sonic Channel artwork is canon, which, like, Sega said, but isn't true. It's not true all the time, that everything they say is true. Creeper Boy, you can stay. There's nothing stopping you. Okay, if you want to leave, be my guest. Go whatever. But, anything. Right, in the Blaze working at her desk Sonic Channel artwork, there is a Big the Cat reference, as there is in all the Sonic Channel artwork, and it's like he is the painting behind the desk. So if Sonic Channel artwork is canon all the time, then like Big the Cat is the current king of the Soul Empire, and that's just, he is? Sure. Big the Cat is the king of the Soul Empire. Why not? Big as Blaze from the future? No. No. That would be a tragedy. They're both purple cats? Who the heck is Gardon? Didn't do a Who the heck is Gardon, but he is mentioned in the Who the heck is Blaze. A lot of the minor characters that, like, there just isn't enough to talk about characters, I include in the short regarding the character that they're most important to. Anyway, so 60 years from present day, we have the United Federation. Now we're getting into shadow-related things. Ooh. The United States of America. We got the capital city. We got a White House, dude. Like, that's America. Yeah. Here's some major cities: Empire City, Central City, Westopolis, Station Square, etc., etc. There are the Guardian Units of Nations, G.U.N, G.U.N. Will you ever do a map of Sonic's world? No. Maybe. But I will be doing a map of the Sonic Boom universe, because no one's done that yet. And according to the poll that I currently have up on Twitter, sorry, not Twitter, on YouTube, as a YouTube post, which I post in frequently. You guys should check that out if you don't. The most requested video idea out of my personal top 4 is to do a Sonic Boom lore thing. I know, oh, where is she? Mochi Mochi really wanted me to do that. She's excited for it. Anyway. So, G.U.N, the United Federation's military and security organization. It is led by a commander directly under the president. In particular, Commander Abraham Tower. Love that. Yeah, again, like Don Pot Kingdom, I should probably update this so it's not just a commander, it's Abraham Tower. Commander Abraham Tower. Oh, Mochi Mochi, I was just saying that the Boom video in my YouTube post is currently winning. Did the United Nations have a JFK accident? No. I'm gonna say no. Though the president from Sonic Adventure 2 and 05 are like based off of JFK. So I'm gonna assume no. Abraham Tower, the Ark's happy little accident. Yep. There's nothing disproving it. No, you're right. We haven't seen him since. So maybe he's dead. Who knows? Anyway, so the gun belongs directly to the United Federation, but it's not necessarily the United Federation's... How do I phrase this? Like, they can be hired by other countries to run their military stuff. They're like the UN, the United Nations. They run all sorts of countries. Anyone that like needs an army or needs support, whether that be for healthcare or for if like an earthquake comes in, right? Then they would swoop in and help out. So shout out to G.U.N. They're always personified as being like the military part, but if you've read Archie, if you've read any of that stuff, G.U.N. does a lot more. They're a really great organization. So, except for that one time they shot a kid. Oh, no, I know. Abraham Tower's not the president. He's the commander. Anyway, Dr. Gerald Robotnik. What a nice guy. I love this guy. This is a really great guy. Gerald Robotnik's super cool. He's like Albert Einstein. He's really nice. Right, exactly. Creeper Boy is mentioning a bit from Sonic Frontiers, which it's just every time I see more Sonic content, there's not humans in it. It annoys me. I was blown away that they brought back Abraham Tower in that animation. I've been blown away even more that Professor Victoria is a real character now. Just out of nowhere, random new human character. It's like, yes. SEA, by the way, welcome to the chat. I love G.U.N. I like the idea of there being a military force in the Sonic universe. I agree. It's hard for me to watch a movie and not wonder, like, where are the police? Like, what all this stuff is happening? That's why I think it's really funny when you have movies like Transformers or the Sonic movie and shit starts to happen and the police just arrive. And it's like, oh yeah, there's like an actual society here. Realistically, what would Gerald do if he learned about what Eggman does? Probably not much. I think it's really hard to do anything from ashes. I like that Tails is such a big fan of Tori. Well, yeah, I'd be too. Professor Victoria will be in Frontiers too, I swear. So, Gerald Robotnik here. You guys know him. You love him. What a nice guy. He is a very charitable man. He had 2 sons. We don't know. Herfy, Professor Victoria is in my miscellaneous section. She is there. Don't worry. We don't really know which son of Gerald had Eggman. I think it's safe to assume it was the roboticist, which I think is funny because people are like, oh, you have like a Maria. And I see a lot of AU Marias being like really techie, really robot-y. But I disagree. I think if Maria was still around, she would not be a huge tech scientist. She would be an archaeologist. And I would love to see that. I think that's really fun. It says he has 2 sons. It doesn't say he never had a daughter. They would have mentioned it by now if he had. Anyway, so Gerald is traveling. He travels to the Mystic Ruins and he learns about the mural. Wow. He's like, what is this? That's crazy shit. Anyway, Maria's born. That's pretty cool. She was born with NIDS, neuroimmune deficiency syndrome. Gerald, unfortunately, Maria suffers from shot in the head itis. He's such a fun traveling guy. Yeah, no, Gerald is a man of many sciences. Guaranteed he's got more than 1 PhD. So he's always out and about learning new things and making stuff. Speaking of traveling, Gerald travels to Angel Island. So Gerald apparently discovers Angel Island. Like, he was the first person to ever get there. Aside from, you know, the Echidna clan that has died. So he deciphers an ancient ring that leads him to a location of Angel Island hidden in the clouds. I do not know what that is or what it's referring to. All I know is it's from Robotnik's journal. So I have made many of the slides going forward have imagery from the journal. I had a lovely time making this PowerPoint, guys. You have no idea. Takes a lot of notes, discovers the Master Emerald. I think it's odd that he did not, like, if he did run into Knuckles' father, presumably at the time, if not his grandfather, he never wrote it down. Like, he doesn't mention it. So I'm just going to assume that he never actually met the echidna that was there. Yeah, Maria would love archaeology. Totally agreed. How do you only just notice that huge island? That's my biggest problem. Like, I understand why the lost hex was lost, because it's even higher into the atmosphere and it's completely in the clouds. Like, you can't see it. Angel Island is not covered by clouds, and it's not like fixed in one point, kind of just over the ocean. Angel Island just floats around. And it's like, what do you mean it's been floating around forever, unhidden, and it's only 60 years ago, like within our time span, like our parents' time span, that this thing was discovered? No, that's so dumb. But it is what it is. So he goes there and he discovers the Master Emerald sitting atop a shrine. Very cool. Anyway, he builds the Space Colony Ark, the 9th wonder of the world. Ooh. You think Angel Island has ever hit a mountain? It's too high. Don't worry about that. Yeah, so the 9th wonder of the world, it's just a giant space lab. You have to go in 10 minutes, sadly. Aw. Don't worry, we end at 5, so we won't go over a whole lot more after this. Tell you what, though. Oh, so being shit at guarding the Master Emerald runs in the family. That Joe was able to accurately recreate in the Ark. Ozerman, we're getting there. We're getting there, dog. Chat, would you do me a favor? I'm going to leave you on this page. I've had 2 glasses of water. And I have to go pee. So I will be right back. I'm going to put you guys on Be Right Back. No. You guys can look at my lovely PowerPoint that I'm a big fan of that I made. I shall return. Give me 5 minutes max. You can stop saying that. It's right here. Cheryl's taking Plitz. I don't want to call it Cherchan. Aaron? Charon? It's Charon. This is Charon. Chair in the chair. No, it's Chair Sama. Y'all take a spoon of sugar in your spaghetti? Osman, I'm married to an Italian. Don't say that. Okay, so you do the arc when you're about to leave. Okay. The latest one with Jet, the Legendary Wind Rider, yeah? I don't know why they changed it from Legendary Windmaster to Legendary Wind Rider. It's been Legendary Windmaster for like, what, the 20 years this character's been around? And as of the last Tails Tube and Crosstalk, they changed it for some reason. I wonder why they chose to do that. Kind of an odd choice. Because there's nothing wrong with it, you know? Welcome to the Jet Stream! Yeah. Alright, Herf, that's enough. That's enough. We're moving back to the Ark. The Space Colony Ark. So, Gerald lives here. Everyone who really works here lives here. Because if you didn't, that'd be one hell of a commute. Ozerman execution at 5. I can't kill Ozerman. He's one of my favorite artists here. Right, so Gerald and G.U.N are having some friction. Things aren't going too hot between the two of them. I hate blocks of text in my PowerPoints, but I mean, I'm quoting him here, so I kind of had to. Gerald gets a Chaos Emerald and starts doing stuff on it. I'm not talking about Sonic Forces. There is nothing about Sonic Forces that takes place before game 1. This entire PowerPoint is before the first game. It's like a 3-hour long PowerPoint if I'm gunning it. Haha, gunning it. Ozerman, I'll protect you, my friend. Right, so G.U.N really wants weapon stuff. They're like, please, we want cool weapons. You have a Chaos Emerald? Chaos? Give us weapons? For Chaos Emerald? I want weapons. No! Chaos Emerald? So, G.U.N is like, hey, would you be able to maybe, like, I don't know, research means to immortality? And Gerald's like, the hell? No. We asked for weapons, and you give us this 3-foot-tall furry. Anyway, so Gerald says no. He's like, oh, it's as intangible as a shadow. Wait, can legit do? I can do a great Eggman impression. I love doing impressions. I do all the characters. My wife and I have been like voicing the characters since IDW started, and then we did all of Archie as well. Something I find interesting is Tails' spooky story. Dude, I have a who the heck is anyway for King Boom Boo, and yeah, I go all over it. Go nuts. So, again, NIDS, neuroimmune deficiency syndrome. She's having a rough time. I can't do Rouge. I can't do any of the females, unfortunately. Withered Plushie, hi. Welcome, welcome. We're talking about Shadow's backstory right now. Hey, Maria's condition's wrong. It's supposed to just be death. Unfortunately, that was a side effect. Big fan of your shorts. Thanks, man. Thanks, dog. I love to hear that. That's really great. Anyway, it's just not space AIDS. Everyone says it's space AIDS. It's not space AIDS. AIDS is a sexually contracted disease, guys. AIDS is an STD. She doesn't have an STD. It wasn't a side effect. It was something else entirely. Yes, it was a small pill-shaped object that she took in her neck at about, I'd say, 300 miles an hour. Anyway, so Gerald, his beloved, ever so beloved Maria, his granddaughter, is not having a too great time. She's going blind some days. It sucks. That's not good. Anyway, so Gerald stops what he's currently working on, which is apparently about the Ifrit, according to Shadow 05. I don't know why he was bothering looking into this thing, but apparently he was. A bit later, he gets a robot in the mail from one of his sons, the architect. Not the architect, sorry, the archaeologist. And it's a, hi Miriam Lam, what's going on? And behold, that's Emerald, y'all. He's like, whoa, what's this thing? And the thing pops up, and it's pretty cool. That, quote him, may be the cause of the destruction of the Great Fourth Civilization, according to an inscription. The robot begins to copy him. But that's for another time. Anyway, so Abe was brought onto the Ark. Abe was born on Earth and then was immediately brought to the Ark with his parents. Isn't Emerald black, not white? Why is he white? He is yellow, actually. This is just a very tinted image. Anyway, so Maria is brought up to the Ark. Maria's family does not want him to do this. But Gerald says, look, she has the best chance of finding a cure up here with me. I know that you want to stay with your 10-year-old daughter, but I am going to take her away from you for the sake of her being alive. So Gerald is having a bit of a hard time with his family. It's actually very tragic. It's not fun. Yeah, he's not having a great time. Oh, have I been saying Gemerald? I mean just Emerald. I know a lot of people say Gemerald, but I don't think that makes any sense because he doesn't have a Chaos Emerald on him when they first met. He is a Geyzoid named after Emerald. Emerald. I call him Gemerald. My opinion is that Emerald shouldn't mess with Shadow Story and stay handheld. Did we already talk about the Knuckles clan? Yeah, a while ago. Yep, a while ago. Anyway, so she's brought on board. Sorry I'm not into the Sonic lore. That's why we're here. Don't worry, dog. It's not Gemerald, it's Gemerald. We talked about the Knuckles clan. Anyway, so in order to keep his funding from G.U.N, Gun's like, look, you have to give us weapons or else we're going to stop funding you. And he's like, fine. So he starts working on the Chaos P1, P100 variants. He pulls this from the Echidna folklore because he was there recently, right? This is, again, more stuff about him traveling all over the world. He was at Angel Island. He was at the Mystic Ruins. This is all very fresh in his mind. So he's like, sure, I'll do something with this information that I've learned. So he starts building these guys, which just control water. That's pretty cool. Then he makes the Chaos Drives, which is arguably one of his greatest inventions. So, does anyone here know what a perpetual motion machine is? So a perpetual motion machine is a machine that has a 0% energy loss. Say I move my hand from here to here. This is kinetic energy. You know what else it is? A very, very small amount of thermal energy coming off my hand. This sort of thing is the same in everything. There is no such thing as a perpetual motion machine. We have yet to find anything that can 100% use all of its energy. It will always lose energy somehow, whether that be through thermal or radiation or whatever. He builds one. He finally makes one. Because in the Sonic universe, there are 7 of them. The Chaos Emeralds. The Chaos Emeralds are perpetual motion machines. They release... I think it's important to note with the Chaos Emeralds, because a lot of people say the Chaos Emeralds have an infinite amount of energy. That's sort of true. There are 2 different kinds of infinite. That's infinite in terms of not quantity, but time. The Chaos Emeralds do not release an infinite amount of energy out of them, or else you wouldn't need all 7. What the heck? It's like, would you like infinite or more infinite? It's the same amount. They're not infinite amount of energy. They release an infinite amount of a lot of energy. Like, it is never not releasing that energy. It does not run out of energy. It is just an always constant source. He takes from that and he makes the Chaos Drives. These things can power a light bulb. Like, they're not very strong, but they never run out of energy. That's pretty darn cool. Why'd you get an ad? Because I'm monetized. Because if you didn't get an ad, I wouldn't be able to do stuff like this. No, they don't cause space AIDS. Anyway, so he makes this stuff. I just finished my first Sonic game. The Chaos Emeralds are powerful, but wait, now I'm confused. You don't get ads? I don't know. So he makes these guys, and he sends them off to Gun. He's like, here, use them to power whatever robots you want. And Gun's like, cool, thank you, will do. Anyway, so Gerald has since agreed to work on Project Shadow because of Maria's condition. He's like, fine, I will only look into what you want me to, which is the immortality, because in the process, I will maybe be able to find a cure for my beloved granddaughter. So he does. Anywho, so just progress, moving along. He starts to test with salamanders because they can regenerate limbs or something. I don't know. I'm not a biologist. But now that he has these things that can use an ad blocker stealing Connor's money. Grrr. I get my money from my shorts. And my long videos, if they would ever come out. I've been working on a long form video for over a month now, guys. It's very slowly becoming the bane of my existence. It's the best video I've made yet. But like, I have put in so much work to this when I didn't need to. But because I started one way, I had to finish it, and now it's been like a month, and it's just been taking so damn long. I'd rather donate than watch an ad about a random AI product. I like sleep. I'd love for you to donate, but according to you, you only have 12 cents to your name. Slowly but surely. Yeah, I finally finished both Shrug Pod, Salty DK Dan, and Radical Soda sections. So now I am moving on to myself and everything else. So I'm like 75% done. It'll take another week at least. But, God, I want that video to come out. Should I go to sleep? I'm starting to think my keys are rotating. I don't know why you're... Like your car keys? What? Hi, Wispy. Hello. Welcome to the chat. We're going over, currently we're in Shadow section of the Sonic lore. Hervey, go to sleep if you're tired. You live in Romania, dog. I don't know what time it is over there, but if it's any time between 10:30 and 7 a.m., go to sleep. Yes, watch the VOD, OMG please. What do you mean by that, Call Me Suki? Do you mean like a VOD for everything before right now? Dragon's Flare. I don't think you're in the chat, but if you are, thank you for subscribing. How is the Bio Lizard created? We're getting there, bud. What? Wait, the Bio Lizard? You mean that thing? Incredible timing, Withered Plushie. The Bio Lizard is one of those salamanders that we were using. It exhibited accelerated cellular growth to the point it cannot support its own biological systems. This is square cube law shenanigans, by the way. If you know anything about what that is, it's more science stuff. Go watch Kurzgesagt in a nutshell. It's a great video. So this is one of the experiments that was going forward. They dubbed it the Bio Lizard. Back, what are we talking about? The Bio Lizard. And it started to be evil. And they were like, what's going on? I don't want to call it evil. It is not that intelligent to like choose to be evil. It's just very angry out of probably pain. The Bio Lizard. The biological lizard. That lizard. And then it started to like spark, which is super weird. But to be fair, he has hooked the darn thing up with chaos powers, so it makes sense. So he gives it a life support system. Behold the Bio Lizard. It's the first successful project in that it has a working healing factor. It can use the chaos drives to heal itself. Unfortunately, not well enough. Like, it works, but it still needs an entire machine built into it just to keep the thing alive. It can barely move. Miriam Lom, because it sounds cool. Was the Bio Lizard killed after SA2? Yes. Oh, it's Deadpool. Well, no. Deadpool was not morbidly obese and stuck in his chair with a life support system. Anyway, so this guy's having a hard time being alive, and it's in a lot of pain, so it's really mad, and it starts hitting things. In fact, we built it its own room just to keep it there. Now, going back to something earlier, I forget who said it, but someone was mentioning how Gerald rebuilt the Master Emerald Shrine. Yes, he did, in here. I don't think he understood exactly what... Well, let me read this. I wrote this. Understanding the possibility the Bio Lizard could grow to be too violent and that it's fueled by chaos drives, Gerald theorized that he could use the Master Emerald to neutralize it as a last resort. Thus, he installed a replica of the Master Emerald from Angel Island. The altar, I should say. So, yeah, Osman, that's hilarious. So the Bio Lizard is just a one-time character? I mean, kind of. He's in Sonic X Shadow Generations as a boss, but that's just because of time travel shenanigans. And even then, it's not time travel shenanigans so much as it's like a memory. Should have used an axolotl or something. Axolotls were not really known by humans when this game was made. Why does the background music slap so hard? The current background music or for this fight? I'm not listening to any of the music you guys are. You like jazz? Background music does slap hard, Herfy. Ooh. Ooh. Anyway. Right, so the Bio Lizard is made using chaos drives, so he's like, you know what, if this thing gets too out of control, I can probably use the Master Emerald to quell it. So he installs one just in case. Anyway, so the scientists start to fear for their own lives because some of them actually started to die. Kind of a womp womp. But this giant lizard thing that's like 100 times your size started smacking things. Withered Plushie asks, why isn't Knuckles protecting the Master Emerald anymore? Like, he protecting the classic era, but he just doesn't care about it anymore. That was a problem that I have with Knuckles going forward, but luckily he does. Withered Plushie, ever since Sonic Forces, he has been back. Reason being, in Sonic Frontiers, sorry, Sonic Forces had the Eggman War, which is like the most intense thing we have ever seen. Or at least I'd say we have seen it, but Sega has decided to not show any of it, which is dumb. And Knuckles deemed that in order for Angel Island to like be a thing, there still needs to be a planet underneath him. So he left to help. As soon as that's done, you start reading IDW in like issue 12, I think. So immediately following Neo Metal Sonic. Because Neo Metal Sonic takes advantage of that, actually. He takes over the Angel Island because of Sonic Forces. But then, as soon as that's done, Knuckles is like, get out. I don't want to talk to any of you again. My island, leave. And he does, and he stays there. So I like that. I like Knuckles a lot. Lemeon? I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. I too like Knuckles. Yeah. See, that's the thing. I don't think Knuckles should be a core part of the cast because of how he's written. Disbanded the Resistance too. I mean, he disbanded the Resistance. Amy reformed it immediately under a different name, but whatever. Sorry, so the Master Emerald. I mean, the Bio Lizard. It's not working super well. So he's like, you know what? This experiment like worked, but it's not helping. So let's do this again. So he takes a flight back to Angel Island, and this time he stumbles upon Angel Island's hidden palace zone. So this is inside of Angel Island, and he finds the mural. Ooh, look at that. Oh yeah, the reason why he's in Frontiers is because he was literally kidnapped. Like, Sage shows up and teleports him out. See that Gerald fed the Bio Lizard? I'm sure. So he's like, hey, look at this thing. That looks like the Chaos Emerald. Or, more likely, because I'm on Angel Island, the Master Emerald. Interesting, interesting. I should make my design look like that. And so he did. 50 years from present day. Mamma mia. The Black Arms. So, Gerald is becoming desperate. The Black Comet passes by again. And Black Doom is like, trade offer. What's going on, man? He just kind of zooms in. He goes, hey, Gerald, don't worry. I'm not going to eat you. Or will I? So what look is this thing? This is the Black Comet. It's where an alien civilization lives, and they pass by the Earth every 50 years. So Black Doom is like, hey, what's up, buddy? What's going on? Oh, this picture in particular makes me laugh. So in the journal in Sonic X Shadow Generations, Black Doom is like entirely crossed out. Like, it's scribbled all over. But Evan Stanley drew this directly from one of the cutscenes in the game. So I'm like, no scribbling out here. Tape. So I actually just have what Black Doom is actually straight up doing in this scene. And I think that's really funny. Anyway. How long did it take to make this? I can't give you a number. I made it for a college project about 4-ish years ago, but then I've been updating it ever since. So, I don't know. I'd say in total, like 2 months. I go back to it all the time. The reason I made it is because I was going to read Archie with my wife, and Archie is so big and has so much of its own lore, I knew that I would start getting like different things confused. So I took everything that I know to be canon, and I threw it down into a PowerPoint. So if I ever question it, I can always go back and look. And I've been using it ever since. Like, this is one of the best things that I've made. After the stream ends, will you release to the public? No. Because I will always have to update this, so I won't. That being said, I will make a Sonic lore video that will just be much like this. I might be there in a very, I don't know, I'll look at this and I'll be like, class, the PowerPoint. And I'll treat it like a lecture. I have no idea. By the way, I don't need glasses. Those are just blue light glasses when I'm working really long nights. So I'll make a very long Sonic video at some point. I might break up into parts. I'm not quite sure. But it'll be very lecture-y and not fun. It'll just be very educational. Anyway. So Black Doom shows up. I don't know who Jake Blending is. It's called Suki. Black Doom shows up and he goes, hey, so check it out. I have skin that regenerates in my body because I have a hyperimmune system. I've been around for thousands of years. You want that DNA? You want that DNA? Yeah? I'll give it to you if the next time I show up, you give me the 7 Chaos Emeralds. Go collect them. I'll give you my stuff now. You can make your little man. But then when I come back, you better have those 7 Chaos Emeralds. So Gerald Robotnik was like, yeah, okay, sure. Ding. Why not? Okay. But Gerald, he's no idiot. He's no dummy. Gerald was like, this guy's definitely gonna eat us. If I give him the 7 Chaos Emeralds, bro's gonna have so much power we can't stop him. So tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make a gun. Hey gun. And this time I mean Guardian Units of Nations. Hey Guardian Units of Nations. I have a weapon for you. And Gun's like, no way. So Gerald says, hey, look, I'm gonna make this thing called the Eclipse Cannon. It can blow up like, I don't know, say like a meteor comes by, wink, like a Black Arms looking comet kind of thing, wink. We can use it to blow up, and that'll protect the planet. We should do that. It'll be powered by the 7 Chaos Emeralds, so you know, if they ever need to be here, we'll do that. Class, I will now show Sonic lore. I don't care. I want to do this instead. Withered Plushie, it's funny you mentioned that. I was a substitute teacher for about 2 years. And whenever we would have a day where the teacher didn't like provide the lesson plans to continue with whatever class that was working on, I would pull up my PowerPoint and I would just lecture with that. No, the kids loved it. It was great. Imagine being a middle school student, early high school, and you have like some young adult teacher show up and is like, all right guys, we're talking about Sonic lore. I was a celebrity at those schools, dude. And then I never went back because I needed an actual job. But whatever. Not that substitute teaching isn't an actual job. It really is. Teachers go through so much. Oh my goodness. I got my degree in English education. And then I went back and I got a different degree in animation. But I had a condition, like a stomach thing, that made it really hard for me to travel. So I was unable to do that. So I had to get a job at home, which is what led to the YouTube channel. I'm really happy that it's been doing so well these past 3.5 months. Anyway, so the Sonic lore, yeah, he made the Eclipse Cannon to destroy the Black Arms when it shows up next time. Anyway, Gerald chills out a bit because Maria's like, let's do things, yeah. Did we talk about Hypersonic? We did, kind of. We talked about the Super Emeralds and why they're shattered, never to be used again. Anyway, so... A shadow tells you where to find the light. Shut up, Maria. So really cringe dialogue aside, Maria calms down Gerald, and Shadow begins to take shape. Stuff's looking pretty good. And then Emerald wakes up. Be right back, got food? I like sleep. What'd you get, dog? It's 5 o'clock on my end. Or will be in 10 minutes. I'd love to get some food. Anyway, So, according to a stone tablet, the one that came with Emerald here, then, I don't know, this is all Sonic Battle stuff. Emerald can make a link with people, and he will forever obey the person that shows him the strongest power or something. I can't speak today. I enjoy that Gerald has, like, a gun collection, according to his notebook. He's like, this is my AK-47. This is my AR-15. A lot of controversies with that one. I still own it. This is my Glock. And Emerald's like, ooh. The stream is, guys, don't worry. As much as I want Herfy to go to bed, we will end in literal 5 minutes. So, whatever. Wow, we know where Shadow got that from. Oh, absolutely. No, Gerald absolutely taught him why guns are cool. I like guns. Your opinion's your own. I like guns. So, Emerald was like, cool. So this guy's like the most powerful man I know. And he was for a little bit, but again, you got to remember where he is. This is the... God, there's so many slides. This is the Space Colony arc. This entire place is nothing but like a lab for weapons development and genetics and whatever. It did not take very long for Emerald to find stronger, quote-unquote, stronger stuff. People just started like feeding him things. They were like, hey, there's that robot that can make things. I don't know. It's like if you get a parrot. You want to teach him funny things to say. So all the people who were on the arc were like, hey, yo, I made this gun. Can you make this gun? And Emerald's like, psh, opens up chest. Yes, I can. So that just kept happening. Oh, did someone subscribe a few seconds ago? Rookie Prodigy, according to my mini feed. Thank you. I don't think you're in the chat, but thank you. So anyway, Gerald hasn't made the Eclipse Cannon yet. So Gun's like, hey, you gotta give us something, dog. We're gonna shut you down. No, the stream's gotta go 3 hours. I live in Germany. We live in the middle of the night. Banger pun. Wait, did I make a pun? I apologize if I did. No, I don't. I love my puns. So, yeah. Gerald's like, hey, don't resort to any dangerous technologies. But as I was just saying, all the people on board were like messing around with Emerald, so Emerald just did regardless. Oh, at gunpoint. Oh, yeah, I wrote that. I made this PowerPoint. Yeah. Gerald understands this possesses immense danger, but cannot risk losing Shadow, so he's like, fine. Okay. So he finishes building the Eclipse Cannon. Quote, it taps into the Arc's reactor to produce an unethical degree of firepower. I think that line is funny. Stronger than any nuclear device, it would domino the end of the world. He's like, please, never fire it. Never, ever fire it. Gerald is a gun guy. The more I think about it, the more that makes sense. Guys, people do not like nuclear weapons. Like real world politics stuff, like nuclear weapons, a lot of people just do not like. Which I understand. But at the same time, nuclear weapons have saved so many lives. Like, yeah, absolutely. It's a weapon. They've taken away lives. But they have stopped land wars. Land wars are the most devastating kind of wars because it's man on man. You got people fighting everyone. And that's not cool. I mean, as like dark as it is, I think it's better to take out a city than like have an entire country go at each other like in back alleys. That sounds horrible. So Gerald here is like, hey, never fire this, but like you can have it. Like threaten people with it, but please God, never use it. But what I'm just saying, like maybe if aliens showed up and say 48 years, I mean, I wouldn't mind shooting it at them. So He sends that off. He's like, Gun, here's your weapon. Gun's like, okay, fine, we'll keep going. Anyway, back to work on Shadow. Here's your test tube, baby, kids. The mural for Mystic Ruins. That thing right there. That is used to make the test tube, baby. Yo, it's Shadow. Maria's like, hey, I want to help. And Gerald's like, okay, I'm making extreme gear. You want to join? And she's like, yes. The guy that made me realize I'm straight. Shadow. Okay, chat. On that note, dude, I showed the Shadow Dark Beginnings animation to my wife's grandmother a few weeks ago, and she was all over him. She was like, ooh, who's that guy? And I was like, Granny, no. That's so funny. That's so funny. Dude, ladies love Shadow, bro. Men love Shadow. Have you seen Shadow? Wait, she designed Shadow shoes? She did, apparently. Does Shadow have socks? They're no-shows. The same goes for Sonic, apparently. As much as I hate the whole it's a boot folded over itself bit, that is the canon answer. I'm just going to assume that he wears no-shows. Ain't no way he's not wearing socks under there. So, yeah, Maria helped design the boots and the inhibitor rings. Very cool stuff. That's how he got his skates. Gerald studies chaos control. He started messing with things. This is the time switch that you can see in Sonic Adventure 2. I think this is really cool because this is like gameplay elements that they decided to make canon and give an actual in-universe reason for how it works. So, Gerald, being the good father he is, he's like, I know my boy is going to have to put up with a bunch of things, so I'm going to learn about those things first so I can help him learn it when he needs to. That's pretty cool. Anyway, Shadow awakens. Here's a rare picture, rare canon photo of a Sonic character without gloves. If you ignore, like, Dodonpaw and Styx, I can't think of a character who doesn't wear gloves, so seeing Shadow not wearing gloves is kind of odd, but they got humanoid hands. No gloves, censor it, cover that shit up. Also, can someone tell me Tangle wears gloves? Well, okay, she wears fingerless gloves. Are his hands red? No. Maybe. I don't know, man. It's a black and white image. Can someone tell me what the timing of the security cam, what that means? Because that was a very deliberate choice. I'm giving you guys time to catch up. The release date of Sonic Adventure 2! That's right, it's June 23rd, 2001. Yeah, so that was a very brain choice that they made there. Anyway, Shadow the Hedgehog, the ultimate life form. What a guy. That's where we're going to stop today. Shadow has been released from his test tube. We get Shadow, and that's where we're stopping. Who wants to know what slide we're on? Someone give me a number. Guess. Guess what slide we're on right now. $89, $59? No, we are on slide 67, 100. We're on slide 136. We've got a lot more to go. A lot more to go. There's about 170 slides total on this thing. Given Dodonpaw, I'm probably going to add another 2. Maybe just 1. Maybe just Donpaw Kingdom exists, Donpaw runs it. That's just one slide. So yeah, about 170 slides. Herf, you were one away after a few guesses. I'm not counting that. Well, it's a lot. Yeah. So I guess we'll pick this back up on Wednesday when I see you guys again. No, don't stop. No. I stream from 2 to 5. I got a life, guys. And that life is making more videos. I have to go pick up my car. My dad has been borrowing it because my mom's car has been broken. So I'm going to go do that. Then I'm going to write the script for the next character. The next character is Starline, the platypus. Love that guy. So you'll see him when the next one comes out. Did you guys watch the short for today on Rough and Tumble? Oh, wow! At exactly midnight for Herf. That's crazy. Lunar when? Lunar in a long time. Lunar probably not for ages, because we don't have anything on Lunar as of right now anyway. Like, a lot of people think Lunar is just Schizo. So until we get more information on Lunar, we're gonna have to wait. Yeah. The intro for today's short was so peak. I had such a fun time making that. I love doing little, like, voices for the things. Can you make a short on Super Neo Metal? No, because that's very specific, but I do have a short on Metal Sonic, and I talk about him there. So feel free to go take a look at that. Is Lunar like Moon Knight? Funny that you mentioned that, but no, I don't think so. At the moment, all we know is that Lunar has, like, just mental issues. Yeah, we don't even know if Lunar's the person or the mask. Yeah, Wispy, it's exactly my point. There's so little information on Lunar right now, so whenever we get more information, I mean, we get an issue a month, guys. So, it's gonna take a while, but eventually, yeah, eventually. I want to make a short on every character, no matter how obscure, so that counts. All right, chat. It's been lovely. We've been having a grand old time with the timeline here. So I appreciate you all being here. I had fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you've learned something. And I will see you guys again soon. Again, I will make a short every other day, so you'll see me on Sunday again with a short, and then on Tuesday and whatever, and then Wednesday I will stream again. From Wednesdays I stream from 8 to 11 p.m. Eastern time, so I will see you then. Alright, wait, answer my question please. So instead of speaking to the moon, Lunar just speaks to the Ark or something? No, there's no connection between Lunar and the Ark. Alright.